You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Hey, good evening. Welcome Outside the Box. Yours truly, Kate of Gaia, coming at you live on criticalmassradio.co.uk once again. Seems like we do this every night, because we do, that's why. That's how important truth and children are. And, excuse me, the magic that is just pouring out of this reality right now from so many points of view, it's getting unmeasurable now. Where you would think in the past you get little sparks here and there, but I have to tell you, it is a veritable tsunami running across this planet and universe. The ripples aren't ripples anymore. They're getting into full-fledged tsunamis now. One of the joys of this as well, and again, it's got nothing to do with me, or really any of us individually per se, we do this collectively. The joy of a consciousness awakening, and you'll notice that the more you awaken within yourself, the fears and doubts and what have you all start melting away, where you're not fighting through the same usual and literal nonsense that you were, a month ago, 3, 6 months ago, a year ago. Because what happens with more and more knowledge of knowing things versus, well, I believe this or I believe that, I like to sum it up in, well, I don't believe that 1 + 1 = 2 in the literal sense. In the literal sense, I know it does. Okay? So you can have someone come up and argue with you all day long, and this is the one allegory that I like to use, where, here you are standing in truth, and you've seen it, you've witnessed it and felt it, getting shunned by friends, family, those closest to you, thinking you're the loony. Because you're daring to expose something that is 180 degrees to their completely sleepy reality. There is nothing that's going to shake me from 1 + 1 = 2. I don't care, and this is allegory, guys, not literal, and I don't care. I can't even describe how much I don't care how many people are going to come to me and say, well, no, it actually equals 2 point something or 3 point. Listen, you can do that all day long until you're blue in the face. All I see in that position is a lunatic, an idiot, an intellectual idiot, or someone that is just hell-bent to make sure that the illusion stays afoot, which puts them in the demonic aspects or the dark principality, Solasheti entities that we find so prevalent within police forces, military, governments, churches, religions, oligarchies, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, the Mellons, the Bushes, the Kennedys, all of these corrupt family inbreeding bloodlines. Actually, I think there's a new sitcom that needs to come out, something from the 50s and 60s called Beverly Hillbillies. Well, let's just get it right and call it the Buckingham Palace Hillbillies, because that's exactly what all these wankers are, just a bunch of inbreeders. And it is a scientific fact that the more inbreeding that occurs within a bloodline, the more psychopathic the results become, because they're merging so close together all the time. And really, you cannot reason with a psychopath. You cannot rationalize with insanity. It would be the same as trying to talk to someone about something logical that is, blind with drunkenness, where they're falling over and what have you. You cannot rationalize the reason with that. You just simply put them to bed, or in the case of demonic entities, you just put one in its head and put it out of its misery. That is the only compassionate thing to do, because it's just a program anyway, a schizoid program that has no life, and the only life it does have is that which it can parasite and suck from another true soul-filled individual, a true aspect of consciousness, a true aspect of the unconditional love that this reality is. And it's quite simply summed up like this. If you knew that acting with thinking that you were a legal name and any part thereof what you're telling me is that it's okay to murder children, because it's only with the system and the way everything is set up that these darkest of entities can get away with it. And the biggest joke on humanity is we do it to ourselves. No one is more enslaved than the one that thinks they're free. That's one of the reasons why they sell demonocracy or democracy. And I laugh at, especially at some people that claim to be historical intellectuals, and they talk about constitutional this and that and the other. And usually the first thing out of their face, or it shows up eventually when they mention the kind of government that the United States has. Well, we know it's oligarchy, corporate, but let's keep it really, really simple for the tiny baby minds out there that are still talking about constitutions and everything else, and still think that Second Amendment rights actually matter. What you're dealing with there is basically spiritual retards. There's really no other way to do it. Now, I put together a list. It's going to get added to and whatever. And excuse me, my attitude is very simply this: I can stand on my truth all day long, and it doesn't bother me what I say, how I say it, who I say it to, and what I say about anyone or anything, because by one's actions one is known. I am simply a neutral observer. And when I see people, for instance, that are making large swaths of money on the backs of mankind, selling fear porn, masquerading as the supposed truth, I have issues with that. And nothing is more horrible than commerce. So I'm going to do a run through on this, a couple of emails I would like to share with everybody as well. And, of course, the latest from Wayne and the Late Night. Guys, it doesn't get any better than this, and it doesn't get any funnier. But let me just get this little list first, because I want to get the shit out of the way so we can get focused on the solutions. But my challenge is quite simple. Any of you fucking monkeys out there that are still trying to sell legal this and fear porn that, my challenge is real simple. Get over to kateofgaia.wordpress.com, read everything, give me a call, and you better be ready to try to prove it wrong, because I've already tried. And there are millions of us now that know that anyone trying to prove truth is full of shit anyway, and especially if they've got a vested interest in it. And I don't care if you're a freeman on the land, a sovereign citizen, sovereign type, or patriot group, or whatever. Excuse me, sorry about that. The only thing that I'm concerned with is if you're trying to sell or flaunt or flog any form of legal remedy, you're no different than a cop, a judge, and a lawyer. You're the same piece of scum trying to sell remedy like the scribes and Pharisees. You are still more interested in providing for yourself, you be fuck, using bullshit that is only keeping people enslaved and entrapped in the illusion or delusion, thinking that somehow legal is real where it's not. The only thing that is real and legal is that you agree within your reality, and that makes you, plain and simple, fucking bonkers. Okay, so let's just get it right down to the nitty-gritty here. I have not an issue in the world of calling people out, right or wrong. I don't give a fuck. All I'm interested in is truth. And if someone wants to challenge me, by all means, I'm sitting right here. I've talked to a lot of people over the years. Actually, most of the people that I'm about to expose, I have talked to probably 95% or more. I think there's only really one or two individuals on this list that I haven't personally talked to, either Skype, face-to-face, in their company, in their aura, worked with things, in the case of one individual, many years exposing the genocide in Canada, and the only thing that this piece of shit shill was doing was using this heinous crime against humanity as the shield and cover to go around and find witnesses to make damn sure they get murdered. And of course, this individual is I don't know about you, but if excuse me, if you're saying things that are treasonous in terms of the old way of thinking and what have you, I'll tell you right now, if you are just a regular meat stick using the legal name, you'd already be behind bars. So I wonder why these guys travel freely. Well, there can only be a couple of things about that. Well, really only one. They travel freely because that's part of the design of letting them travel freely so that others may be harmed. in that process. But anyway, let's get into this short little list here. It's not that short, but I'm calling everybody out. And there's a whole lot more I can add to this list. Right now, it's the challenge is out. The gauntlet is down. Any of you motherfuckers want to take me on, Kate of Gaia is sitting right here, right now. Bring it the fuck on, bitch. That's my gauntlet. You see, that's the difference between believing something and knowing something. It is my wish that every day that gets past, when I look back, I want to be wrong about everything I did before so that I've learned something new and expanded upon the truth that I already know. And I'm going to hand out a warning to all those, and I don't care if you're high profile in the, quote, free man, legal shite and all the rest of it. I don't care if you're just dabbling and maybe doing radio shows and sharing legal this and legal that and bills this and shite that and all the rest of it. You are harming humanity, and it is my wish that those harming humanity get harmed by their own choice. If it is your plan to harm humanity, ignorance is not a defense of the law. This is your warning. If you are going out of your way to harm humanity, especially those that know what's going on and still refuse to accept it, you are bringing that mirror upon yourself. I have to do nothing. I have to do absolutely nothing except let the golden rule take full force and effect, and it will. I spent today posting to hundreds of different pages the latest. Thank you guys for putting together the Babylon Has Fallen essay, the one that I read out last night. It was done within probably minutes after the show was over, if not before it was over. So thank you for that. It went viral today, and talking with a few people, of course quite a few people, and they've been doing the same. So if you've been feeling a paradigm shift in the reality today, it's because there was one. So here we go. Known Shills and Cointelpro Disinfo fear porn agents. Okay. I see through these demons easily because those who won't talk to me, interview me, or block my writings on their sites, or defame me in any way, etc., are showing either their fear of truth or their unwillingness to accept the hard, cold facts of this reality we supposedly live in. I have a couple of categories for those that deliberately spread disinfo as their job to deceive humanity, which are shills, and those who I feel are too trapped in their intellectual left brain to see or accept truth. I call them idiots, where I call the entire group of shills and idiots, shidiots. Anyone who's still claiming to have a legal remedy are harming humanity in their idiocy, and those selling this lie of legal remedy illusion are the same as lawyers, cops, and judges, preying on others for money. It's simple. You sell legal, you're the same breed of parasite, and this includes self-professed gurus and the free man, sovereign, patriot movements, etc. There's a third category of those simply in fear of standing in what they know to be truth, but are included in all aspects of selling legal remedy if they are promoting that in any way due to their own fear or non-acceptance of standing in truths known. Let's begin with pure shills and Cointelpro agents. They're the ones making large amounts of money, are not being taken out by system goonies, and can travel freely to spread their shit. They only talk in the same continuous loop of literal fear porn, never adjusting from their platforms. The list of major Cointelpro types are as follows, and this is a short list. There's many more to be added to this, but these are the ones just off the top of my head today. Alex Jones, you were called out as a Zionist shill. Interview me, faggot. David Icke. Still selling the reptilian reptoid nonsense, are you? How many millions are you making per year, my friend? I'm calling you out. I know of one individual in particular that was posting Babylon Has Fallen on the Dave Icke forums today, and every time it got posted, it was removed, and this individual who has been on the Dave Icke forums for a long time has just been blocked. No fear there, right, Mr. Lizard Boy? David Icke, you were called out as a fucking shill. Cointelpro agent. Here I am. Interview me, if you dare. Sasha Stone. There's someone selling the free energy concept, the physical, try to keep you in the illusion. What the hell does a god need with free energy when that's all we do is create it? Kind of stupid. Here's a battery for you. No thanks, I am one. Sasha Stone, you're nothing but a piece of shill. No interest in talking to you because, sorry, you're way too in love with yourself, like Russell Brand, and he's on this list as well. Andrew Bartzis, in cohorts in conjunction with the likes of Sasha Stone and other things, selling all manner of nonsense. And again, Andrew, we've talked on occasion, and you are officially called out as a fucking Cointelpro shill. Prove otherwise. Let's chat, shall we? Challenge is on. The table's open 7 nights a week. You're all welcome. Let's carry on here. Kevin Annett, well, he's a Jesuit operative who I've known for years, got up close and personal, and I got to tell you, I've never felt a filthier aura. And I've also looked in his eyes, and I've seen the fear. I am also the only one on this planet that has come out against him that he didn't try to defame. That's his standard modus operandi, his standard way of doing things. Someone comes out and calls him out, and I know of many people, Malvé and a handful of others, that have actually been at this table that did call him out, and he went on a hate porn fest and calling out these people and saying things actually in one conversation with Malvé in Holland. As a matter of fact, he even suggested to Malvé and her husband on a couple of occasions that if they needed anyone, quote, taken out, to let him know. That's the nature. And I got to tell you, someone like Kevin Annett using the likes of the genocide of Canada, by the way, Alfred Lambermont Weaver, to answer your question as to why someone like Kevin Annett is so dangerous when apparently he's doing so much good. Right now, Kevin Annett is looking for blood-signed contracts for common law peace officers. Guys, this went around a while back as part of the World Freeman Society, Robert Menard. As a matter of fact, when Rob came out with the idea at the time, this is going back to 3+ years ago, at the time I thought it was a great idea to level the playing field with these supposed policy enforcement goons, werewolves that go around looking for the name contract. But I assure you, common law peace officer Kevin Annett is just another way to get you onto a piece of paper, giving you a false sense of security and power. And by the way, treason boy, with all the shit you've done, why haven't they taken you out? Why? Because you're working for them. And that's what Jesuit operatives do. I'm going to include the likes of Pope Francis in that list too, which I have as well. I've also already mentioned Russell Brand, and of course Dave Icke and Russell Brand. They were trying to bring them together, and that got a little bit messed up. Keep your distance. Can't get the shit too close together. And again, I am praying to be wrong in every one of these, but I know I'm not, and that's okay. If these people want to challenge me, you know where the table is. The gauntlet's down. Bring it the fuck on, bitch. Real simple. Pope Francis, of course, Mr. Look how wonderful I am with children, and a known operative in Argentina during the Falklands War as a weapons dealer and many other things. But then that's what the Jesuits do. They like to infiltrate every level of military and government and sell their particular brand of evil in the guise of doing something good. Let me see where we go. Anyway, here there are others to be called out as they are shown by and of their actions. There are many more in this category, but I thought I'd call out some of the more popular ones based on the amounts of money that they bring in, and that includes Kevin Annett, because I've never seen anyone that is just simply accepting donations that can jet set around the planet as much as that fucking shill can. So there you go. So Kevin Annett, go ahead, try to defame me. Many have tried. Here's the good news. Go ahead. Bitch about me. All they got to do is go to kateofgaia.wordpress.com, read for themselves, and you'll decide for yourself what's real and what isn't. And if you're intelligent in any way whatsoever and actually have a soul, it'll hit you pretty quick. That was my intention in writing the things anyway, because these were moments of experience, not theories. I'll leave the conspiracy theorists to the theories. I simply like to walk the minefield first, maybe step on a mine here and there, which I've done many times, in order to find the way through so that others can walk through safely. The intellectual idiots, ones who are smart enough to get it, but refuse to stand in truth due to fear, vengeance, greed, or sheer ignorance, etc. The list of this group, they do have some redeeming qualities if they wake up and do it, but until they actually wake up to the true fraud of what's going on and stop playing in this legal illusion that's harming so many, not only themselves, idiots, But the fact that they're thinking that the legal world is real, they're the ones keeping it alive. Therefore, they're the ones that are harming the children on this planet. Therefore, they are my sworn enemy. Until they wake up. I stand to post, I shall not yield. The destroyer creator shall pass. You choose, creation or destruction. It's your wish, baby. Make it a good one. The list includes Tammy Pepperman, Bono Entertainment, Dean Clifford, Arthur Christian, Irene Mouse Gravenhorst, Robert Menard, Winston Shrout, Jordan Maxwell, Santo Bonacci, Max Egan, Roger Hayes, John Harris, Rod Klass, Peter Eugene, Kurt Hollenbach, Carl Lentz, Johnny Guzman, QLP, Andrew Patterson, who works with Kevin Annett, at one time a very dear friend of mine, until he changes that pattern. Sorry, Andrew, you're fucked. Danny Wilton, David Wilcock, Larkin Rose. What was the one I wanted to put in there? At this point, Mark Passio. Sorry, Mark, love you, but you're a fear porner. Any and all free men on the land, sovereign citizen or patriot groups promoting any and all forms of legal remedy or legal rights, illusions, and or fear porn. All lawyers, judges, cops, both groups of shills and idiots, etc. Includes anyone trying to make money offering legal remedies of any kind where none, in fact, exist. Okay, Peter Eugene of privatist.ripoffme. There you go. Thinking they exist is the illusion. There are many others to be exposed and eyes finally open, but I find the ones most dangerous, like the psyops or shills, given their popularity and money backing and profiteering from people's fears, that they love to ramp up to a delusional frenzy. They are the ones that only focus on circular, no-solution fear porn. And there are a few, like Mark Stevens, that are actually not offering legal nonsense and are more in the know of what's really going on. More to come. My challenge is simple. Disprove any and all of my work exposing this demonic nightmare. There are only a few that I see as being pure of heart, intent. People like Bill Donahue, Siobhan Bomer, Robert Otte, Matt Presti, Michael Tsarian, Tobias Lars, and a handful of others. And while I know Santo Bonacci is pure of heart, his not standing in truth, he knows, is exposing tens of thousands, if not more, to keep people still think there's legal remedy of any kind and will remain on the list until he shows otherwise. To be continued. Me. So there it is, boys and girls. That's just a short list. I wanted to spend a bit more time on it today, but I don't like wasting time on that kind of energy because we have talked about this, or I have talked. I'll take full responsibility for this. I will not let anyone speak for me, and I will not speak for anyone else. I'll take on each and every one of these individuals. No problem. Because I'll tell you this, it's a very simple question. Do you got a legal name? And if the answer is yes, which it inevitably will be, I'll say you're a slave, you're working for the demon aspect, can't talk to you until you figure out who you are. Now, I did receive an email. I'm going to talk to the individual before, from an individual regarding someone, and I want to talk to this individual beforehand. But very interesting email from the individual that they got it from, and the plot thickens and things get a whole lot more interesting. But for those that haven't noticed, there is a paradigm shift occurring right now, and I am done dealing with these idiots. And like Neil Anderson just pointed out here, there's no point playing the game that they created. They know it better than anyone. They designed it over many years. You will win. You will win playing by their rules that they can change when they want to suit them and work in their favor. Let me see. Kate, you were blunt and straight to the point with what but I personally think it's needed, just like Ninja, who I love to bits and always puts me in check when needed. There's no sugarcoating the truth. It is what it is. And again, I like to use the allegory. If you can envision the planet like a game of Monopoly, and you're trying to play against the one who, 1, created the game, 2, changes the rules whenever they feel like it, 3, controls all the money, the banks, controls all the properties, controls the game pieces that you're going to be using, controls the dice rolls to make sure you can only move where they want you to move, and they will send you directly to jail without passing go at any given time that they want. They own the community chest. They own all the chance cards and all the utilities and everything on the board, including the hotels and the houses. Are you going to play with that individual? Or can you think of a fairer, more equitable way to play in that everyone plays by the same rules? Well, you see, that's the thing. We all do, and it's called universal law. And that's the rule book that I choose to play from, and it's simple, golden rule. That which you wish upon another, you have wished upon yourself. So all the hate and fear porn that everyone is throwing out there and making money from it or not, you're accountable. By your actions, you are known. I know the pure hearts, the ones that are simply busting their asses to get the truth out. You know, people like Mary Croft. There's another great individual that shared all of her information freely, and the only ones that I ever trusted at any given point in the game were the ones that did that. You know, and that includes Santa Bonacci, that includes Bill Donahue, Savon Bomer, that includes Mary Croft, and quite a few others. The point I'm trying to make here is very simply this: know who you are. The answer is there. It's up to you to accept it. Now, I want to carry on into the the world-changing moment from White and her dad, Wayne, today. I just got to scroll down to it. I posted it around, but my Facebook page has been lit up like 100 Christmas trees today, guys. Thank you so much. And a great post, by the way. Thank you for sharing. Not sure who put the video together, but Bob, it was a beautiful speech that you gave, and it's a snippet on YouTube from Why You Come to the Table with a great big it's quite beautiful. And thank you guys for, I got to tell you, everyone, the translations, the Kids Cove, all of the people involved in the Babylon Has Fallen, get it translated, put into YouTube. The work that you guys are doing, I have to tell you, there is no way that I could possibly ever even think of dreaming that I could do all this myself. And this is why it is so critically important that you know how important you are. And this is the game of doing it together, right? We all get our little super spirit human tricks together, our own magical thing that only we can do, and we put that into the kitty of the collective. You're still completely, perfectly independent in a collective sense. We're creating the symphony that's writing the song together. And what a profound difference this world is becoming very, very quickly. This is going exponentially. And just a little word to some people that are posting some what I would deem to be garbage on my page. Please do not post literal stuff. I've already started to delete some of it. I don't really care about people like Barack Obama and Wikipedia and stuff like that. No harm, no foul. I get it. It's all good. But I, on occasion, have to call this out to people. If you're going to post literal things on my Facebook, you better give me an allegory and an anagogic headline for it. Like the anagogic headline that came out from Suspicious Observers yesterday, the sinking ship and the rising phoenix. I didn't care what the video said. I simply look for the headlines and translate them into what it means to me. The sinking ship is Admiralty and all things Crown, and that includes Rome, London, Washington, D.C. That's the mind, the Admiralty ship, the false illusion mind that is sinking. And I'm not talking about lining up here. I'm talking about going to get drowned in truth. And, of course, the rising phoenix. Well, that would be you. Isn't that wonderful? Of course it is. I cannot begin to tell you how awesome and beautiful you are. And Mary's Rainbow, an awesome plate that you put up. Man, it's just been a crazy awesome day today. For people who want to have some really serious fun of watching people awaken and see how this is doing, all you got to do is pop by my Facebook page. I think it's almost like a news feed every day. And I do have a bit of room for friends. I think I might have 12 or 13 spots left. So if anybody wants to send a friend request through Facebook, feel free. Kate.Renee.5, Kate.Renee 5, and be more than happy to get you in the loop. And a bit of a heads up, too, for anyone that sits at this table, especially brand new one. We hand out truth here, and once realized, you have two choices to make. You will stand in it, or you will deny it. Both are going to be very difficult, but the only one that's going to protect you and keep you safe from all harm is when you stand in it. If you deny it, don't worry. The universe will keep bitch slapping you with the same rerun, same type of scenario for you to finally wake up and go, wow, maybe Kate was right. Maybe I do have to stand in truth or get my ass smacked for it. Yeah, that's exactly what you got to do. And the singularity standing in truth is quite simple. Depending on the level of truth you're seeking will depend upon the level of, quote, attack. Now, guys, this is nothing to be afraid of because we have uncovered so much. Like anyone waking up to this reality of what we're sharing right now has got such a mulligan, such a gimme of how to stand in the truth. The hardest part about what we share is the fact that you just won't believe it. It runs against your program so hard, you will find it so difficult to believe. And that's the joy of truth. You can believe whatever you want, but you look at it long enough, it becomes self-evident anyway. And you'll get your aha moments whether you're trying to get them or not. So I'm still scrolling down here to find this. And remember, every time you deny standing in truth and a child dies, that's yours. That's yours. That is yours. That's how seriously I take the truth. There will be no murdered children on my watch, not from my denying truth. I don't care what this system came at me hardcore. That's a scary little bitch, and now they can't touch me. Because I know who I am. And once you master this, here's the good news. Once you take the power away from the vampires, guess who controls the dogs, the werewolves? You do. And there's a perfect proof of this as soon as I can find it on my page. Somebody's probably posted it to me. Excuse me. No, here it is. I wanted to find the... where was it? I wanted to find the one that I had made a comment to. I actually shared this on the air this morning on Michael's show. Whereas it's almost there. If I don't have the part I shared, it doesn't really matter because the important thing is this story anyway. Almost there, maybe. Yeah, I'll just go back down to that one because I did a little header to it and shared it around. But I think I can tell you what the header is anyway because it's going to be the same thing I'm going to explain. Now, where are we? Yeah, guys, some great posts today. Just amazing. All right, so here we go. This was posted to me this morning from Wayne regarding White. For those that are not familiar with the story, it goes back to White challenging her teacher with why should we come to school when anything you need to learn you can Google anyway, which she's absolutely right. You know, you want to find something out. The chances of you finding truth on Google are infinitely larger than a teacher trying to share something that they've been indoctrinated into to make you believe that it's truth too, right? Remember, the bigger the lie, the easier it is to sell. And what we're dealing with is an education system of pro-slavery training that is a broken telephone. The message got altered way back, and that broken telephone message is getting regurgitated, but no longer. The telephone line is broken, and White was quite correct. Yes, what do we need? How tough could it be? And there was a few other things. I want to compile this. Wayne, when you get a chance, I would really love for you to write out the whole story, and I do it in point form or whatever, from the moment that White challenged the teacher up to this point that I'm going to read today. But a quick synopsis of things. White was challenged to teach for a week, and she took that on, no problem. And the headmistress of the school that she's at and the teacher thought it better just to simply expel her for 2 weeks. We're talking about a less than 8-year-old little girl here, okay, guys? So this is the fear that this child has thrown into these people, and that's the power of truth. And if an 8-year-old child, less than 8-year-old child can do it, what the fuck is your problem? Seriously, what is your problem? I mean, hell, I've had a lot of fun. I'm transferred, lots of beautiful game there. And if I had the, quote, balls, unquote, to stand, I'm only half the man any man is. And only half the woman, too. But one of the things I'm noticing is the women are standing up a lot more than the boys are. And I will say a great big humble thank you to all the men that come to this table, because I know you're standing. And thank you. That is the divine masculine in full force and effect. And if you want to find any one of those beautiful standing men, you just come to this table, because this is where all the girls like to be, because those are the only kind of men that the girls like anymore. At this table, anyway. So there you go. Shortly after this, I think it was the following weekend, White had to go to a birthday party, and of course, White's mother had to come over to pick her up from Wayne's place, and was late, and on the way back to the party, was speeding and was pulled over by a police officer. And this is in the UK. It doesn't matter where on the planet it is. If there's a court, there's a crown, it's all the same system. Just get that through your heads, okay? That's it. That's what the registration system is. If there's a court in the country, it is ruled by the Crown, Triple Crown, Vatican, Rome, City of London State, and Washington, D.C., District of Columbia State. Remember, those are 3 countries. They're not cities, they're countries. Vatican City, City of London, Washington, District of Columbia. They are countries. They don't teach you that in school. Not that I ever anyway. But anyway, getting pulled over, and based on what was shared, obviously the police officer asked for ID, to which little White leans over and says, "No names here, mate." And the surprised police officer said, "Excuse me?" And she said right back in the most perfect definition of literal, that any child speaking truth, that's all they can do. He said, "Yes, you're excused. No names here, mate." And at that point, he closed the book up and walked away. Of course, Wayne's ex-wife decided to give him a call at her earliest convenience, wondering what was going on and that they needed to talk. And long story short, Wayne had a conversation. She came over and had a chat with Wayne, ended up spending a night reading on the website, kateofgaia.wordpress.com, and came to the same realization as I and so many others came to, that we must stand for the children. If you can't stand for you, stand for the children. Look at a child in the eyes and not find something worthy to die for, then you're soulless. You're heartless, and you certainly do not deserve immortality. So decide. It's a really easy one. Bless the beasts and the children indeed. So that being said, last Friday, Wayne got some phone calls from some parents. The children would not answer to their names on Friday, and there was an emergency meeting to be held at the school on Monday, which of course was today. And this is the outcome from today, and I'm hoping to have a really nice long conversation with Wayne at some point to get this written up properly, because this is one of the most beautiful children's stories I have ever been able to witness unfold before my eyes. So here's what happened today, in Wayne's words. So, got to the school, and they all had gone into the meeting. When we tried to go in, they would not let us in. So the headmistress came out and said, "I did not ask you to come to the meeting." So I said, "Well, if you're having a meeting about kids, and if you're going to be talking about my child, I'm going to be there." So she said, "You're making a scene, and if you don't go, I will phone the police." So I said, "I'll phone for you if you want." So she phoned the police, and about 10 minutes later, they turned up. And just a coincidence, it was the same policeman that pulled over White's mom. And he's only a sergeant, and the look on his face was like, oh, shit. So a long story short, the sergeant said to headmistress, are you going to be talking about his daughter? And the head said, no, it's about the other children, not his child. So I said, this is about the kids not answering to the name. So yes, you will be talking about her. So the sergeant said to the headmistress, right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave an officer here, and if you refer to his daughter in any way, my officer will be under orders to arrest you. This is the sergeant talking to the headmistress of the school. Let me read that again. Remember I mentioned about once you claim your own power back, the vampires no longer control the werewolves, and now the werewolves have to work for you. This is where you're going to find the soul-filled entities that are wearing that hollow, empty uniform. And this is a beautiful moment. When I read this, it just sent lightning through me. This is the shit I'm talking about, boys and girls. This is the shit of shit. I love this. So here you go. I'll read it again. So the sergeant said to the headmistress, right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to leave an officer here, and if you refer to his daughter in any way, my officer will be under orders to arrest you. Then the headmistress said to him, you can't do that. So he said, well, you go and say his daughter's name in your meeting, and you will see what I can do. Now go and have your meeting, because the kids are looking out of the windows, and now you're making a scene. So she went into the meeting, and she was not happy. Of course not. And a police officer went with her. Then the sergeant said, can I give you a ride home? I said, no thanks. We're good. And he said to me, do you know that if the kids do not answer to the name, then they have to send the child home, because then they have no rights to keep the children in the school without the name. Are you hearing this, boys and girls? Is Babylon has fallen making a bit more sense? Is I who shall not be legally named starting to get clearer and clearer and clearer? Again, he said to me, you do know that if the kids do not answer to the name, then they have to be sent. They have to send the child home, because then they have no rights to keep the children in the school without the name. Then he looked at White and gave her a smile and got in his car and went home. And one of White's dad's friends phoned me and asked what was going on. So I told him. So he went up to the officer that was in the meeting and said to him, are you going to arrest her if she says White's name? And he said, yes, I will. So just waiting to see what got said in the meeting. I'll let you know as soon as I do. A little PS for me. I guess this was it. I put it at the bottom. So here's a little PS for me on the post. Don't miss the real magic here. When you know who you are, the power is handed over to you, where the werewolves must protect you. Their vampire masters get their power from you when you are in contract with the legal name. Kill the contract, the power line from you to them is cut. I'm going to expand on this one big time tonight, which I've already been doing. And thank you so much, Wayne and White, for standing. It's a 7-year-old Gemini tiger. Go Gemini. The 7-year-old Gemini tiger can show her fangs in absolute unconditional peace and love. Not only owning a headmistress and quite a few teachers, getting the respect from a police officer, even getting a smile, and I felt that smile. To the point where parents in this UK school are going to be scratching their collective noggins wondering, what the fuck is going on? Now maybe they might listen, you see. But there's the key notes. A child cannot be kept ghoul if they refuse to be the name. Such is the power of a child. And this is right up to the point of when they turn 18. By then, we turn 18, been there and passed through this, and by that time, you're a well-conditioned slave, and the true power of your child has long left you. Fortunately for those of us sitting at the table, we never lost the spark. We never lost the inner child. We never lost the urge to ask the question, why? And we never lost the stubbornness of saying, why, every time it wasn't answered properly. Sorry, because is not an answer. Why? Well, because. Why? Well, because. Why? Because. And that's all we're doing here. And my challenge is to all you grown-ups that think you're so fucking smart, maybe pay attention to the children, because it's going to be the children that set you free. You stand for the child will stand for you. You lie to the child, then you have damaged the least of us. That which you do to the least of me, you do to all of me. Touch my children, and you are doomed. Defy my children, which is humanity. You're nothing but a slug with full consciousness, and it's going to be a long walk home. It's not my wish for you. That's your own. You're the one that makes the free will choice. Stand in truth or deny it. It's quite simple. Not so easy to do for the most part. There's a few fears you have to overcome, but at the end of the day, the only thing to fear is fear itself. Fear is the illusion. And I cannot say thank you enough for all the efforts that everyone is doing, and this world is changing so quickly. On that note, I'm going to start cracking lines open. First one in is Ninja. And I know you've got a few things to say. I didn't want to go too long tonight, but I thought there was a lot I had to get out. I wanted to make sure that it was given in the energy that I've been sitting in all day, and it's quite potent. So how are you doing, Ninja?
Oh, hi, Kate. Oh, hi, everybody. Oh, I'm just absolutely buzzing. I am. And I don't mind. I've enjoyed listening, as I always do when you have something to say. Thanks for recapping that story, all of it. And I've been out all day on the road and back and forth, and I hadn't been, aware of this development. And when I did see it, I literally exploded my head. And I just was suddenly like, on fire. I just didn't know what to do with myself. I just, first of all, just sat there saying, oh my God, oh my fucking God, oh my God. And then, and it still hasn't really sunk in. Even though I know, and I've said this in my Facebook posts and comments, even though we know, when you hear something like this, that somebody is telling, that a police officer is telling a head teacher. I mean, in the UK, I'm from the UK, I had my education there. That shit doesn't happen. And it does happen now. And that is mammoth. That is so important. I hope people understand that, We understand about the name, but he was going to have her arrested. Her whole reality just shifted today. She doesn't. She probably went home and just cried. In fact, I think she probably went to her office and just cried because
she had all her power stripped.
Let's
make that really clear, Ninja. She had her power stripped from her. Her whole power of being a headmistress and God in the school just got ripped out of her knickers.
This is exactly what I was just coming to. She has had her whole career as a head. I mean, I don't know how many years she's been in teaching, but, you don't walk into teaching and become a head. You work your way up. So she's had her whole teaching career and her career as a head teacher shattered at her feet today because she does not understand what the hell is going on. Now, I wish no harm, as we all stand in that, on anyone. And so I hope this lady finds herself very, very quickly informed. That's her choice. She has to now inform herself of what is going on, and so do all the teachers in the school and every other school in the UK, and spread that then around the world, because this is happening now in the UK. It will be happening in the Netherlands tomorrow. It will be happening in France, Italy, everywhere. This is now going to be happening everywhere, and all these teachers and head teachers and so-called professional educators need to wake up and fast. Because they will find themselves arrested. They will find themselves criminalized for the way they're talking about their students. And now we have indeed seen a massive shift, on top of all the other massive shifts we've had coming from that direction. I'm absolutely astonished, and I'm so excited. I don't know if I'll sleep tonight. This has really hit me. This is just wonderful. I'm absolutely good. I don't know what else to say. Yeah.
This is far larger than most people can fathom right now. I know the gravity of what happened. White changed the world in such a profound way. What she did will have a far larger effect than the judge bows to sovereign video in that awakening of one of these things is not like the other. Because it only was white not claiming her name. She wasn't even in school, and her classmates stood. Her classmates got it.
Yeah, this is the thing.
He wasn't there when this happened.
I'd missed that part about her being expelled for this. See, they're such cowards, aren't they? They couldn't possibly let her do that. I hadn't caught that part. I've not heard every show, and so yeah, okay.
That's the arrogance of the teaching profession. Just like doctors, they think they're gods, right?
They do, and this is now where we're coming to. It's now going to be thank you for mentioning doctors. This is the next step. Hey kids, you know what? Fuck your doctors off out of it as well and tell them, no, I ain't that name. And you ain't coming to me with your prescriptions and your needles, and you can take your fucking vaccines and put them in your own arse. We don't want them anymore. Thank you very much. We're going to start taking our urine, and you better do the same if you've got any brains. So that's the next one, and I've just put that there right now on the table. It's done. Bang.
Thank you. That's all it takes. Just change the intent. And that's a quick shout to Veritas. Yes, I got your emails. Very interesting. I will have a chat with you regarding that, because I got to tell you, who the hell does he think he is, thinking that somehow he knows a special name? Interesting. Just very creepy emails. The one that sent the email, by the way, was David Icke. I'll get into that probably tomorrow or the next day. I just want to have a deeper look at it. There were a lot of levels of creepiness to it. Anyway, how many millions you making this year, David Icke? How many millions you making, Alex Jones? Yeah? Whore of Babylon mean anything to you? Commerce? You got the mark of the beast happening there, bitch? Oh, yeah. Sure you do. Yeah, I don't see you. Well, you're spreading your money around like Mother Teresa did into her own fucking bank account. Okay? So I'm not buying into that shit anymore. Now, I also want to shout out to Christian Man. Most welcome. I love connecting people. Anna and Lee got hooked up with Christian Man in the world down under. And what Ninja said regarding the world, this ripple is far bigger than that. Just start dreaming it, and you'll see how big this ripple goes. Because it only takes one in one place, right? It only took one judge in the courtroom to change the whole panorama of the courts. And it started. That was the beginning of them falling back on their heel in a large way. That I know. And see, the irony of it is I can't even see me in that video anymore. It's completely separate from me. It's a different reality. No, it really isn't me. It's a former life for me anyway, boy mode. But the truth of the matter was, the only question I asked after that video was, why? What did I do that was so scary that they couldn't touch me and the judge had to run away? And that's the only thing I've been trying to answer for the last 3.5 years. I've been in this game for what, 4 years now, coming up. Okay, I'm back. Ninja, are you still there? I think I'm back.
Hi, Kate. Yes, I am. I wasn't already on the board. I was just trying to log in, but it's taken too long. But you're back. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, hon. I've got a few people on the line here. I'm going to get them opened up, but carry on for a minute.
Yeah, I do actually have something to share. I have a beautiful allegory. The allegory of this event didn't hit me until about 2 days after it happened, and I was like, oh, wow. We found, where I'm from, we don't have snakes in the grass. Well, I never saw one anyway, but where I am now, we found a pretty typical, I believe. I've never seen one snake in the house out here. It's only a little wee thing. Not very much to describe. I don't know the name of it. I've not researched that yet, but here's the story. It was picked up by the tail end, just so that you could kind of have a look, and it did that thing where they disconnect themselves, and the back end was like just severed, and it just slithered away, and this thing, when it was put down, was just wriggling and everything. And the point is, it was really like freaky, fucking bizarre shit, and it's like, oh my god, that's one of those ones, and I was explained about this kind that can do that. They can disconnect to get away. And we weren't intending the poor creature any harm. We just wanted to look, but we held it a second too long, and it was only a couple of seconds, and it just disconnected itself. And so the allegory being, the snake being the representation of the divine feminine, of course. Now, here we go. You can't hold it. You can't hold that anymore. It's going to disconnect itself, and it's not going to be doing itself any harm, although it will hurt. That tail will grow back. So, and I broke this through in my little mind. You can't now entrap the divine feminine. It will disconnect itself. It has a way out, and its way out will be painful, but it won't be deadly. It won't kill itself, and it will just remove itself from any grasp or any attempt at grasp. And so there we are. This is exactly what we're doing. Reclaiming the divine feminine. No more entrapment. No more slavery. No more, name fraud. None of it. And they can't catch us anymore. They can't hold us anymore. So, okay, I'm wondering if...
No, it's okay. I'm
you're there. Okay.
Yeah, I just had to unmute there. I just opened Bindy's mic.
I thought you might have got bumped again. That's okay. I'm still not logged in, but I'm going to do it now.
Like sitting back, listening. We got Bindy in
there.
there.
I was so overexcited tonight. I couldn't probably get that out very well, but I'm sure you get the idea.
Oh, Ninja, it's fine. It was perfect. Everything's perfect. Bindy, what's on your mind? I'm going to get all these lines open in a second, guys. So don't worry, it's coming. And this table, I'm going to keep it going as long as we need to tonight. I don't care if we got 2 or 10 shows tomorrow. We're going to run this through to get this energy out. Bindy, how are you?
Hello, pretty ladies. I'm pretty ill, actually.
Hi,
Hi. I called in to get a bit of the energy because I'm completely fucked physically. Yeah, I'm big and I'm pretty sick.
Last time you spoke to us, you said you were bad. That was a week ago, so it's got worse.
Yeah,
then.
It's got worse. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh well, just
a big clear out, is it?
Spiritual clear out, baby. That's all it is. I went through it. It was a week and a half. I got slaughtered for a week and a half.
Yeah. Well, I felt sorry for myself this afternoon, so I thought, right, I'm going to listen in, try and just, fill up the battery somehow, and I'm glad I did. I saw the kids coming, and I'm so glad they're here. I'm so glad that there is more and more reflection of children's souls, because they're already awake. It's more like they're finally catching up. Us adults are finally catching up to the kids, I think, because every child is born awake or conscious and aware, and it's the program that dulls it and dumbs it down. So, yeah, I'm so happy that some of the kids have entered into families where there's more resistance to the program already, even if parents are not fully awake, at least they're enough in resistance to a lot of it to, make it a bit easier for the kids to say, fuck this, or not fuck this, but I'm going to try something different.
Exactly.
Fuck this generation's us. The next ones are, okay, we've fucked it long enough, now we're going to build our own sandcastles.
Well, I tell you, as a kid, people I hung around with, we were very free-spirited, and definitely the system takes that out of you. So I totally get it, and now those of us that have come up through that, never lost that essence, are the ones that are here to make sure that the way is paid for the children, the ones that are awake, because they cannot be lied to, and quite frankly, we're not tolerating anyone lying to them anymore anyway, especially schools, governments, and Johnny Longarm or Deputy Bonus or whatever the hell you want to call the supposed law enforcement. By the way, I spent much of the day posting Babylon Has Fallen, the spoken version, to hundreds of different points of view, law societies, cops, newspapers, governments, well-known, quote, truthers, et cetera, just to give them a little reminder. And, of course, everything sent is already contract. You are all in contract with me now, and especially if you have a legal name, you haven't got any spiritual causal ability at this point, so good luck trying to push against that. Contract is secure. Now, that being said, I'm going to start getting these lines open here. Wendy, your mic's open. Let me just a reminder to everybody. I'm going to open up all the mics. Let's play past the feather. Let people finish their thoughts, and then we can move along to the next one. But in the meantime, when you're not talking, because I do not like to mute mics. This is one of the things that Bob brought up last night. There is not another platform on this planet that you can come to that someone hosting or running a board opens the mics and leaves them open so that you can have your say regardless of what it is. So in the mirror, I would ask for the respect of keeping it quiet on your end so that any noises aren't interfering when people are talking, because you won't want it happening to you. So please, that which you wish upon yourself or upon another, you've wished upon yourself. So there we go. I've got Wendy, your mic's open. Panarello,
hi.
Yours. There you are. Just give me a sec. Let me get them all open first before we jump in. You're first on the list, though, Wendy. Okay. Barb's at bingo. Happy birthday, Barb. Looks like Jerry Dandridge, you're in. Joe Tara. And, okay, Tracy and Lynn. All right, so let's start off with Wendy. And, again, be mindful there are many on this table. Say your piece. Let someone else talk. And do not, if you jump in on top of anybody at all, I will mute you. Okay? That's it, because we're grown-ups here. We're going to lead an example as open communication. Let's show the kids how it's done, shall we? We expect children to do it, so let's expect ourselves as well. On that note, Wendy, how are things down under?
Things are great down under. I've got a friend here, so I won't be on for long. I just want to say congratulations to Wayne White. That's absolutely wonderful news. Fantastic. My friend Tracy, we've just been listening to you talk about it. It's just great. And I just wanted to say that I haven't had the internet much the last few months, so I hadn't listened to you and Bill Donahue during your interview. So I listened to that last night and I was inspired, and I downloaded a whole heap of Mozart, and I've been having a ball listening to it this morning. So I just wanted to share that with you and say thanks. And I've forgotten how much I love classical music. So have a good, have a good day, and I'll listen, but I have a friend here, so I probably won't chat again.
Well, okay, no problem. Your friend's GPS locator to find her spirit inside that body is Tracy?
Yes.
Hi, Tracy.
Thank you. Hi.
Oh, no,
honey,
not you, Tracy.
You.
Hang on, Tracy. Hey, it's okay. I knew that. As soon as I said Tracy, I knew you'd jump in. It's all right. It's all good.
Okay, this is Tracy from Down Under.
Glad to meet you.
Yeah, you too. It's nice to hear you, and I love what you're doing. And I taught my granddaughter before she went to roll call that she's not the name. She goes, "Oh no, I'm not the name. I'm love," she said.
Oh, perfect answer. See, I told you the kids are right.
Yeah.
That's awesome news. Well, listen, I'm glad that you're tuned in, and thanks for showing up at the table. I have a little saying. It's BFT. BFT, you showed up. It's about fucking time. That's
She's going to Thailand for a couple of months, so she's going to get online over there. So she might even get on and have a chat.
Excellent. Oh, by the way, we have translation.
I was just going to say, Kate.
Babylon is fallen in Tagalog, which is.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead, Trace.
Ninja and Kate. I just want to talk to White for a minute, if that's all right.
Trace, stop asking for permission, because when you do, I just get this really shitty feeling all over me. So just say your thing. Stop asking
shit all
for
over yourself. I wasn't asking. I'm doing it.
Well, you asked us do it.
This is the message for White, the White Knight. I had an idea that you might like. I don't think you're 8. I think you're eternity. And what about this idea that you and your truth dressed up in white? I know it's very literal. But what if you just dressed from head to toe in white, like, the Catholics like and shit, And you went into school and did not do the name, and everybody who stood in white, truth, night, dress in white. And that was a message for Miss White, my teacher. That's all I want to say, Kate. Thanks.
All good. Absolutely. Whatever floats anyone's boat. We talked about that being the whiteness or the witness before, in a state of, wit means to know, ness is a state of being. So when you are a witness, you are in a state of knowing, and also in a state of being white. So to me, it wasn't a surprise that Wayne's daughter was nicknamed the White Knight by her grandfather. And just to be,
you like it that the uniform, and they always choose blue and khaki or blue and red. But girls like to be girls, don't we, Kate?
Oh, absolutely. But Tracy, I don't want to get off into literal stuff right now. I really don't, and that's I just want to get everyone in here. So let's just get down the list, and then everyone jump in. I just got to go.
Sorry, Kate.
No apologies necessary. I'm just stating facts. If anyone has an issue with facts and have to apologize, and I'm saying this to everybody, don't. Because I'm going to tell you, gods don't need to do that. We just look at things and accept them and observe them for what they are to us without any emotional attachment. It's really easy. All right, Panarello, are you there?
I like how you do that.
Yeah, sure am. How you doing? How is everyone? Yeah,
good. How are you?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, as always, pretty speechless.
Fun,
There's a lot
isn't it?
happening. Yeah. Actually, I started off my day, just a bit of a side note. I was watching, like YouTube, you get a lot of good movies sometimes. I watched this one called Skin. Oh my gosh. Freaky. It was like...
What's it called?
Skin. Two white parents in South Africa have a baby, and the baby's coloured.
Yeah, that happens that happens more often than people realize, because at some point in the gene line, it's a dormant gene, and this is a fact that all humanity has always been connected with all of humanity, regardless of color, and it shows up. Yeah, that'd be an awesome movie.
Yeah, you like that better, Kate? I mean, really?
What's that?
That you like the male, I like this, I like that, instead of reality?
Tracy, are you smoking something tonight or what, baby?
No, I'm very tired, though.
Yeah, okay. Well, tell you what, just because I'm not going to get into the same habits as always, okay, hon? So I'll just mute you out for a bit and then chill for a little bit, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks, hon.
Yeah.
Okay. Tracy, I love Tracy. She just can't help herself. She loves jumping in. It's not a problem. It's not a fault. I'm not making it wrong here. It's just that it just disrupts others. So, yeah, that would be an awesome allegory to watch. It's on YouTube. Skin?
It was. Yeah, Skin. Yeah, it was, like just thought-provoking stuff, That's all.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's go down the list here. Let's get everybody in, then we'll just get this table wide open. We got about 50 minutes until we roll over. For those that want to call in, I'm just going to check to see what the BTR number is. I'm sure someone's already got it posted. Is it 22?
Yeah,
yeah,
Kate, 02.
Okay, 022. So BTR listeners, 022. For those that want to put that in their contact to get direct to the board, we have room for a few. This board is full tonight. Just have to put it in your Skype search, and when you hit search, it'll come up. Right-click it, hit call. That will bring you into the call. And, of course, you can call in at 661-467-2401. That'll bring you to the board. Once on the board, please just hit 1 on your dial pad on the phone or open the dial pad on Skype, and that will let me know that you want to get on the board. And hang in there, Panarello. We're just going to keep going down the list here. We got, looks like a new caller. Jerry, yeah, go ahead, man.
You've got an echo. I don't know if it's because of somebody's open mic, if they've got speakers or something that end. It's not normally an echo your end, so...
No, it's okay.
I'm just letting you know.
It is on my end. I know why. So
is it? Okay, fair enough. Normally
it's all good. It's all good. Guys, just chill.
Just wanted to mention before I go. I just mention because I'm going to be one of you. We're about to mention the translations that we've had, the most recent ones. Yesterday we had. it's just gone. What was it? It was, no, it wasn't Thai. Indonesian yesterday.
Indonesia, yep.
Yeah, we had Indonesian yesterday, everybody, and today we've had, what was it? Tagalog with Filipino. So, Tagalog, that was it. So, yeah, there you go. So everything's on the kateofgaiatrans.wordpress.com and all over Facebook. So you'll find it. Okay, so with that, I'm going to wish you all a good night wherever you are, and I'm going to go and hit the site. Enjoy the rest of the show, everybody. Lots of love.
Oh, thanks, Ninja. And again, great efforts on making sure that the translations get up. Great efforts on making sure kateofgaia.wordpress.com is constantly and continually updated. Without you guys knowing what you're doing, there's no way that anything that I do would actually matter, because it wouldn't be getting out to the level that it is. And the fact that we're all on the same page together here just makes it that much more powerful. Because, again, this is why I laugh at people that want to claim truth as theirs. And are you hijacking from my site? No. I'm sorry. I'm not going to lay claim to 1 + 1 = 2. I think that's a pretty good truth for everybody. And do you remember who invented it? I don't, nor do I care at this point. So that being said, let's carry on down here. Ninja, everybody, thank you guys so much. I can't say thank you enough. Jerry, it looks like I don't recognize the name. First-time caller, Jerry Dandridge. How are you? You there, Jerry? Hello? You might have to unmute your mic. All right, well, we'll let you figure that out. Your mic is open, Jerry, so feel free to jump in. Joe Tara from Down Under, how are you doing there, hon?
Morning. Very well, thanks.
Excellent.
Great to hear a few Aussies around the table now. A lot more. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to put in what I experienced, I think perfect timing. I went for a walk this morning, and I'm contemplating what is it that happens to teenagers, that innocence of the child, and then they, what is that transition that they go through? And I'm thinking about when we're kids, you get to that teenage, you're looking for love, your sexuality hits in, drugs, getting stoned, listening to Led Zeppelin, rebelling against what's going to happen in the world or what is happening. I started thinking, because I've got a 16-year-old son, and he's going through some transitions, and I'm like, what is it? What is it that shuts that off? They're opening their spiritual consciousness. There's this innocence, and then there's this cognitive awareness. And I go, something to do with spirit. And I'm like, there's something here, really is something here. I want to investigate this. And then as I'm walking, I go, okay. They get a TFN tax file number. They get a bank account set up. 16, they're looking at getting a driver's license. So all this IDing, I thought, but this is where they, for themselves, commit to getting that through the pressure or the system itself. So that they may have had a student ID and all the rest, but that was the parental decision. This is their own decision. And I thought, that's where a lot of that transition from not wanting to be like the rest of the world when you're that teenager to committing the intention to become ID'd and a slave in that system. You're handing your soul over. So then I come home and I thought, I'm going to meditate on this because I really want to bring it to the table, to my family, and sit and talk about it and investigate that. So I'm sitting there and I go, what is it? And then I realised there's a friend of ours, she's 16, same age, friend of my son Jai, and her boyfriend has been driving without a licence for quite a while, and he went to get a licence and they turned him away and said something's wrong with the car, and someone showed me on Facebook where he said, fuck that cunt, I'll drive anyway. And I thought, hopefully he he's not going to attract. He's rebelling really big time. This is my conditioned mind thinking this. And then I'm lying there this morning going, look at him. He's at that point where he's going, who can tell me how to drive? And he just drove off. And he's driving anyway because they told him he had to come back in a month. So I'm at the point I've got my 16-year-old who won't ID himself. He knows what's going on. He's been at the table. He's listened. He's got the Whore of Babylon in his wallet, to show people. He's aware, but we haven't started him driving yet because he hasn't got a license, and I'm not going to get one. So we've sat for the last 5 months going, what do we do? That's when I realised, we get to sit down and we're going to talk about it today. It was perfect timing. Yesterday, when you read out the Babylon Has Fallen, I said to my husband, do you want to listen to Kate with that Babylon Has Fallen that I told you about? She's about to talk about it now. He goes, okay, because he rarely listens in. He knows what's going on. So he sat down and he listened for the next hour. And he came out and he said to me, that's it. I'm cutting up my driver's licence. I said to him, go for it, because he's been in court and stood and said I'm not the name. This is years ago when we were first trying not to enjoin ourselves with it, and so he's got that perception that yesterday with the Babylon Has Fallen, he just went, that's it. So I said to him this morning, okay, when we sit and talk to the family about dry driving, I said, you're about to cut up yours and you're going to cut up and drive without it. How about we just put L plates on the car so that people know he's learning, and we just take him out there and drive, just like that kid's friend. What else can we do? There's nothing else we could do other than that, because the other getting him licensed is not an option. And he just looked at me and he goes, what a perfect discussion that we can have with that. I'm ready. So then I get to the table now, and you just tell me about what's going on with White, and I'm going to get them to listen to this before we all go and have that discussion to today's talk. It just solidifies everything, So I love the timing of it, and I just wanted to share that realisation, the journey of, stepping things through in our own time, and it comes out perfectly. Thank you, Reverend.
Oh, thank you, Joe. Very well put. And just to back you up on the Down Under, yes, we are exploding around the world, and yes, a lot more coming from Australia and New Zealand area now, and of course all across Europe, North America, some from South America. We do have listeners in China now as well. Quite wonderful when you stop and think about it. So the word's getting out around the planet, and that's all really matters. And again, this whole thing about people claiming this to be a guru of that and all the rest of it drives me batty. And you've heard me rant often enough about the pedestal game and all the rest of it. I don't play hierarchies. I only see all things as one and equal level table that we sit at here. And my role is a specific piece of the puzzle, as is yours. And we all have all of us, every one of us has the most important piece of the puzzle. And the sooner you get that, the sooner you realize how incredibly important and powerful you are, the sooner the whole game goes. This is why I will not allow for, quote, followers, unquote. I will not allow for pedestals of any kind whatsoever, whether someone's trying to put themselves on one or put someone else on it. In one way or another, they're creating a serf caste feudal system and a divide and separated from all mentality. And I can't live there. I just can't. It is so alien to me, and I won't tolerate it. And when people are out there, the shills and the idiots and what have you, whether people agree with me or not, it's irrelevant to me. I have my position. I will stand it, and would be the first time I had egg in my face, and it certainly probably won't be the last. And I don't particularly care, because in the process of seeing contrast, I get to see the truth, so I don't care what it takes. Right or wrong, either way you get to the truth works for me, and I don't take either one of them personally, and I certainly won't let anything affect me emotionally on a personal level, in the need to feel that I have to own this or own that. I'll leave that up for the feeble minds, especially those like of recent Arthur Christian and so many others. But that being said, let's carry on down the list here. Guys, you're blowing me away. This is amazing. Lynn, you're in, and then we have Witness and Steve Mahon as well. At which point, once everyone gets a little say here, then just put it up. I really want to sit back at this point now and just let the magic unfold before my eyes, because that's what it's been doing for the last week or two, especially with this playing out of white changing the planet on such a fundamental level. Lynn, how are you doing?
Hello, lovely. I'm doing pretty darn good. And I was just thinking, boy, I just find that I do better listening most of the time. Gosh darn, and I had a really cool thought a minute ago. However, let's see. So I shared with you the wisdom of a grandchild of mine. He is 5, just a few days back, turned 5. My daughter happened to videotape him talking about money and how it's fake and stuff. And she posted the video on my page today, and I wasn't able to share it with a discussion group nor your page, Kate. So I hope to figure it out so we can. But if you'd like to view it, you should be able to go to my Facebook page and see it. It's adorable. Fake money. It's not real. The government just prints it, and I'm not going to spoil it for you, but
Okay, well, hey, Lynn, feel free to pass it over to my Facebook page, and I can share it so we get a lot more people.
Yes, ma'am. I attempted to, but it wouldn't post on these pages. Yeah. So
all right. Well, I'll swing by.
Computer.
I'll swing by and grab it off your Facebook, so we'll get that dealt with.
Thank you.
No worries.
Yeah, it's fabulous, and I've had a really lovely every now. I learned to plant the seeds and walk away, especially with family members. And one of them just so happens to be getting it, and I can converse with her about all things spiritual. So to see another transformation, right in front of my face. It's Kate of Gaia, darling. Oh, she says. I don't know if you heard her in the background. She's saying who you're talking to. That's granddaughter.
I heard a little voice. Just didn't hear what the little voice said. But tell her Kate says hi and much love.
Kate says hi and much love. Oh, she's got the shy violet thing. She's got a big old smile on her face, though. So, she's watching The Lion King. Yes.
There you go.
And of course, there went my thoughts. The child will do it to me every time. Okay, I love you, and I'm going to mute out now so I can get with my thoughts again.
That's okay, hon. Thank you for sharing, and again, just more proof that. If a child can't motivate you, you got issues. Sorry. It's just, listen, guys, this thing came up against me so hard and scared the living shit out of the 3 closest to me in my life, where the night they did, everything was perfect. There couldn't be more unconditional love in the house, and they came up against myself and the family so hard that it not only cost me my partner, it cost me my children as well. And my partner at the time, I thought was going to be able to stand through anything, but obviously not. And that's okay. I'll tell you what the universe gifted me in that. The universe gifted me exactly what I asked for. These parts of my life be kept safe and out of the way, and that's exactly what the universe delivered, so that I could carry through and do this. It just took me a while to figure it out. And as Stephen and I were talking last night, if you go back a year and a half or so, you'll get to hear lots of me working that out, and the amount of distraughtness that actually caused me until I finally got through it and came out the other side. Witness and Steve, you're the only ones that haven't jumped in yet, so let's get you guys in.
Hey guys.
Hello.
What's up, buddies? Anyways, man, just having a great day today, man. Just feeling the power, and I planted a couple seeds today, helped some guy out that had just hired an attorney and he's trying to fight the IRS and, telling somebody they ain't never got a piece of mail and then explaining it to them, it has a little effect on them. And then send them over to the videos, go look at this video, go look at that video, have a nice day, here's my number, call me, text me if you need any help, because you're not going to get this shit overnight. But it's a great day. Great show last night when you were talking about, I think it was jurisdiction or, in the golf game, when I play a lot of golf, and in golf, you hit levels. It may take a month, may take 2 levels, but when you hit another level in golf. And Tiger Woods is still hitting levels. So you always hitting levels. And in this game, in this reality that I'm in now, I keep hitting levels. And last night, the way everything was going last night on the show, things you've said before, and other, like Mike and them have all said before, but it finally hits you, and you're like, bam, damn, I never thought of it like that. Okay, I've heard it, but it didn't resonate. Now I got it. Now I can take this part and go out tomorrow into my universe and make it even better. And it's just getting great, man. And that shit you said about the military yesterday, bingo, man. That was money. When you took the shout out to the military saying, we got your back. We're there for you. And
exactly.
I'm ex-military. And it's funny, the guy that I woke up today, I went to go look at an RV and it all had leaks. He told me they had no leaks in it. But anyways, I was talking to him and he started cussing when he was talking. And I was like, you military? And he said, yeah. I said, you infantry? And he said, yeah. I said, I could tell. He said, how'd you tell that? I can tell by the way you talk, man. He doesn't never leave you. And the guy was like 55 years old. I'm like, he went to the same units I went to. I was like, yeah, dude, I could tell just by the way you cuss. Because when you go in the Army, man, you learn a language. There's a different language. It's all men. So the language is different. A woman will come in our day room in the military, and we'll have to ask the woman to leave because of the way we talk. We talk different. We cuss, and it's like nothing. It doesn't hit our minds and reflect like it does on all these other people that always cussing. Well, that's a I say what's up, bitch. But when I say bitch, it doesn't mean bitch in my mind like you think it means bitch. It means what's up, dude. It's my own language. So.
And it's all, at the end of the day, it's all sound, and this is the joke. This is the joke. If you make a certain sound, it creates an emotional reaction, and that's exactly what you have to conquer. That no word uttered can have any emotional reaction on you. That's when you're standing in neutral and your fluffy, tricky little bastard ego, whatever you have named it, finally gets tamed.
Another thing.
If a word can get a rise out of you. That's why I like using Fluffy, because a powerful little tool in that I can get goats with it. I use Fluffy to collect goats, and that's all I'm doing now is collecting goats. And any of the people I called out, and there's going to be a lot more, I'm right here. You know where the table is, 7 nights a week, minimum 2 hours a night, twice on Tuesdays just for good measure. You want to come in and try to defend your idiocy, please. Bring your egos to the table. I've got a nice little fluffy chainsaw and a couple of facts that you can't answer. You can answer it truthfully or you can lie. And if you're still talking legal, well, you're a lawyer, just like the rest of them. And here's the thing: if you're going to associate with pedophiles, you might start looking like one. So if you're going to start hanging out with legal, you're going to start looking like one. And I like using real extreme examples of it, not for any other reason than to show the blatant 180 degrees on it. And what you just said there about different perspective, different point of view, that's what we do here. We take a look at things from a completely different angle, not the one that we were conditioned with. For me, I've been on the other side of the looking glass for my whole life, so it's very easy for me to adjust to the other side and have a look at it from history said that so-and-so won the war. For this reason, I'm going to go and look at who didn't win the war and see what really happened to get their point of view. And isn't it funny how quickly everything shifts and you start seeing the truth in all of the lies that have been propagated through propaganda to convince you that something happened that really didn't, to get you emotional about something that didn't even exist. Look at how many people get upset when you say the Holocaust didn't happen. Well, there's certainly a lot of shit that went on. I consider World War II a Holocaust overall, but it wasn't based on one particular group of individuals. You know, and that I didn't want to get into the literals of that shite, but it's simply this. If you can sell a big enough lie, put enough emotion behind it, and condemnation if you dare go against it, and you get everyone buying it, well, that gives you kind of an awkward position to be in, and that's exactly how we've been played. And humanity, and I'm talking to all of humanity, you got played like a broken fiddle. And the worst part about it is you did it to yourselves in your own ignorance, just like I did. Difference between me and most, I got over it. It's okay to do something and wake up and realize that's not something I would ever do again. And that's why I only look at life with two questions. Is that something I would do or something I would not do? And it really is that simple. And the minute you decide to do something, then you do it. And the minute you decide that something you would never do again, then you expose it. We all got duped. We got duped on a grand scale. Stephen, my friend, how are you doing tonight? And great comments, by the way. Everybody, thank you so much. Stephen.
Yes, it has been beautiful listening to you all, and it is a great night. And I don't have much to say except that I've experienced a nice, humbling experience. You know, as you said, you can only go back just a short period of time to when we were ranting and raving and posturing and positioning and trying to figure all this crap out, scared to death. And I've been so proud of myself. And then I was humbled by a child. All this mouthing of this egotistical ass of mine about having everybody's back. I just had a 7-year-old put her hand on my heart and said, "Don't be fearful, Steve. I've got your back."
Isn't that cool?
Quite an experience.
Yeah. That's exactly what went through me today. And the power of that so gentle of touches and that beautiful awakening, that beautiful reality of going, you know what, we save the children save us. Can I make it any clearer?
Steve, your mojo's rubbing off on me, buddy. I'm letting you know right now. And you were the one I was talking about when I said, Mike, I met you last night. You are rubbing off on me, man, so just keep it up, brother.
All love, my friend.
Kate, have you talked to that girl?
Have I talked? No, I haven't had the pleasure and the honor yet, no, but I'm sure we will. I'm just, I got to tell you, I really do want to set up Saturday nights as kids' night. And I would even urge Wayne, if White's into it, I'd love to have her hosting the show, and I'll just run the board for her, and just have all the kids call in and you know, air their opinions and air their concerns and things that they want to see. You know, I had a little girl sit down with her grandmother last night and to grant her grandmother's wish, because only a child can. Never doubt a child, because a child can't do that. So you can trust in that and just let it go. My favorite answer, everyone knows my favorite answer to any question once you're looking at it, just to simply accept it. And the answer is simple. It's okay. And that is all of creation, the womb, and K, the master number 11, which is Ka, spirits. 3 Ks, KKK, makes the Coptic key. And that is the power of a child. So yes, I'm really looking forward to having a little sit down with this super white knight child. And guys, don't stick new cager terms like indigo children and the rest of that on there. I don't want any of this tainted by any of that new cager nonsense and that pseudo religion that they're trying to replace the religio cosus chosenitis with. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having an opportunity to sit down and yeah, the table's hers. If she wants to come in, and of course, Gemini Dragon to the Gemini Tiger, I'll sit wingman with her, and I'm sure we'll have a great chat. And of course, it being on Saturday night, no concern for any of the children in terms of school, if they're still going, because we are setting all of that up online now for children. They have their own school. They'll be able to run themselves in this. And there are some beautiful people, and that number is growing, that are organizing things to make that possible, to help simply guide children along where they can explore themselves, where they can explore what they want to learn, what floats their boat and sinks their anchor. Find the thing that you love, and the universe will back you up all the way home.
You think
really
about it.
Simple.
Think about it. That white knight. You think about her. She's only been programmed for, besides her parents, the parents. She's only been programmed for a year, maybe a year and a half, and then that programming is done, because she understands what's going on, and she is going to be the purest thing that's ever been on this show. Period.
Well, yeah, and I will say Wayne, I've known for a long time, and I know Wayne's been awake for the entirety of her life. And I'm sure it played a factor in Wayne and his ex-wife splitting. So again, I'm looking at a beautiful combination of Wayne and White, in that she had an opportunity to be able to stand on her own. This is one of the things with my own daughters, that these are the things that they were exposed to with me, of course. And of course, I was always dealing up with my ex, who is about as awake as a groundhog in January. No harm, no foul, but you hang on me for 23 years and you still haven't figured it out. There's not a lot left there to be wondering about. Anyway, that's all good. All things for a reason. Everything's cool. But White had beautiful backing to begin with, and I think as far as the indoctrination goes, it would have been very minimal. And I know Wayne, and the way he stands and the hell that he's been through, there's no way that any of that shit would ever be allowed to stick on her. That's a fact. So, and a great point. Thank you for bringing that up.
Let me reinforce what you just said, Kate. What you said was, and you've said this many times, but I'm just going to go ahead and let everyone know what I saw in that, is that you said that this game has got to be easy enough for a child to get out of. And that's exactly what she did. And you know what else I keep thinking? Before you said that tonight, you said that they will protect you. And I've been thinking that, like, man, wouldn't it be better just to say, if they did kidnap me and they were asking me questions, I would say, well, there's nothing you can do, sir. You will be protecting me whether you like it or not. And that's what I kept saying to myself, and you brought it back. But that's what happened to her when she had that little thing with the little school teacher or whatever, and that the demons are there to protect you too. So.
Well, that's it. Once you claim back your true power, you disconnect the cables from the werewolves to the vampires, and then that power gets reverted to you. It was a beautiful allegory was shown in The Mummy Returns with Imhotep and using the casting spells out of the Book of the Dead, or the Book of Life rather, to control the Pharaoh's dead guards. And that's exactly, if for anyone that wants to, I would say watch Mummy Returns again, and actually watch all three of them in a whole new unit of anagogic now. Do not be entertained. Don't get into the mirror of the mind. Have a look at it anagogically of what it's saying energetically, and you'll really see what's going on. I got to tell you, it's only through looking at things this way that I've been able to see the things that I have found, things that I couldn't see before. And it doesn't take a lot of practice, but it does take a little practice. And you've got to be centered and go into things with a very specific purpose, in the same way that you would go into an ayahuasca journey or DMT or whatever else. You have to have the presence of mind and the purpose of why you're doing it. Like the example when Chris and I did it DMT a few weeks back on the air, I wanted to experience, one, what that would be like, and two, to let others know that, guys, follow your heart. And it just felt that was something I needed to share with people. And Chris, of course, jumped in with me, and we had a good laugh about it later, thinking that, would you have thought you'd ever done something like that live on air? And I'll tell you right now, nope. And I've been on air for 6 years or more. So yeah, that was a really profound night for me, and it was a very freeing experience as well, in that I felt so comfortable enough at this table that, regardless of what would have happened, I trusted all of you enough that I was free enough to do what I wanted to do and not be judged for it. And not that I care way about being judged, but you understand the concept I'm sharing. When it's free enough and open enough that you can just simply be you, that to me is the magic of setting yourself free. And that's all.
Doing what you're good at, Kate. You are doing what you were born to do.
I'm just following my game piece. That's all. Just follow my game piece. And we all got one, and we got all the clues you need, your birth date, where you're born, when, who you were around, what you've studied, what you've done throughout your entire life. Everything you did, you never made one mistake. Everything you did prepared you for what you are doing right now, and all you have to do is see it. And again, the whole writing thing with me, I was prepped for a lifetime writing songs. The whole thing about being on a platform and talking, especially being terrified of front row center, as I have my whole life, being on the stage most of my life, and being terrified prepared me for so many things. It includes the Judge Bows to Sovereign, because I went into my stage mode where, you know, regardless of whatever fear that was in me, I could put that aside and simply perform by letting go and letting the universe take over at that point. And that's what I did in music, and that's what I do today, and I'm not going to change that. It works every time. And I got to tell you, when I see people doing their magic, when I see them, and I'm not saying magic from a sorcerer perspective, I'm saying just being themselves and watching their own creative energies just explode supernova. What Ninja would said at the earlier part of tonight, with regards to, you know, everything is buzzing. Yes, everything is buzzing, and that's that electrified energy that's going. That's the magnetic creation that has created that buzzing electrical effect around the planet, and it's connecting everybody and everything. I'm going to be checking for X flares tonight. I'll tell you that much, to see if we fired off a few today. But guys, I can't thank you enough. And find your magic and your gold. And we got Borean jumping in here. There's someone that knows a bit about universal flow.
Hey,
funny
you
how
betcha.
that works.
Yeah. Hey, you know, I just wanted to say that I did feel it today. The whole entire planet trembled today when Wayne and his daughter, you know, when all this went down, and this should be on, you know, this should be the front page news. This should be on every major global media outlet. This story that's going right here, man. I'm telling you, it's huge. And I posted this on my Facebook page, and people just basically lit it up. And basically, I just hope that you all see the significance of what just transpired today, and it's been kind of leading up to this point, because, you know, a couple of weeks back, even this whole entire table had a heart shift change. We moved away from the details and into the heart mind, and when that happened, I think we enabled this to happen, and we even talked about this briefly with Michael, you and I, Kate, you know, last Friday, a little bit about how we are moving completely into the heart mind. And then for this to happen, it is just freaking incredible. And here's what happened, boys and girls. Little White represents the purity of divine feminine creation in the purest form. And she is back. And she is standing in her truth lovingly, with empathy, with creativity, with all these great things. The divine creative feminine is back on planet. But here's the beautiful thing, boys and girls. It is a woman's job to lead man to the divine. That's what the feminine part is for, to show that love, to show that empathy, and to be creation within itself. Now look, for a man, your job is to stand up and be brave. Your job is to stand up and be tough. Your job is to stand up in truth, so that little girl can be who she is supposed to be. And what that police officer did today is he changed the whole entire paradigm, shifted like a snap of your fingers, ladies and gentlemen. This is living, literal evidence of exactly where we're supposed to be right now at this place on planet Earth. And it's a beautiful thing. I'm just excited, and Love you all, and way to go, Wayne. Way to go, White, and way to go, all those little young stars standing in their truths too. But anyways, this pretty much just changed everything, and I'm just so excited. So there you go.
Completely. And again, I go back to the fact that it was her classmates that stood, and White wasn't there, so the truth sunk in, and that's the thing about planting the seeds. Let nature take its course. Every seed will grow if you allow it. If you're going to continually pick at it and see if it's growing, and again, imagine going to someone to try to plant a seed, and you plant the seed, then you start poking at it and trying to adjust it to make it better and better. All you're going to do is annoy this ground, the person that you've planted that seed into, and they'll eject that seed out, and it will never have fertile ground. This is why I let nature take its course. When you put a seed in the ground, you cover it. There's nothing more that you can do. If it's outside, nature will take its course. It will be given enough water, or it won't. If it's meant to be, it will be, and if it's not, it won't. And that's how nature works. That is the purity of the order of chaos and the chaos of order. They're both one and the same thing, and it's a very easy thing. Now, we got 10 minutes until we roll over here, guys. Come on, Bob. I've got you open right now. Just give me a second to do the shout-outs here to let people know we got room for 7 callers for those that want to roll over with us. Once we roll over, you will not be able to hear the show until you're either on the board or until the archives are available, which is directly after the show. In the meantime, it is BTR listener 022. Put that in your Skype search, hit search, and when it comes up, right-click, hit call. That will bring you directly to the board. For those calling in on landlines, it is 661-467-2401. For those listening on the Blog Talk page, for convenience, if you want to hit the Skype button and follow the bouncing ball, a few windows to open and close or whatever, but that will bring you to the table as well. Once there, all you have to do is hit 1 on your dial pad on the phone, or hit 1 on the Skype dial pad. All you have to do is show the dial pad on Skype, and just like a regular phone, hit that there, and that lets me know you wanted to call as well. In the meantime, I just want to do a great big shout out to criticalmassradio.co.uk, and I want to remind everybody that everything at criticalmassradio.co.uk, as well as kateofgaia.wordpress.com, and any other site or any other information connected to us, is absolutely free to all. If you can help out, great. But don't ever let anything stop you from having what is rightfully and always was yours. Truth belongs to all. It is really that simple.
Their walls are falling. The momentum is now with us. It's our time now. At the most pivotal point in history is Critical Mass Radio, 24/7 Truth Radio. Help us to help you. Please go to www.criticalmassradio.co.uk and subscribe £1, £2 or £3 a month. The critical mass has been reached. We must come together. We must stand together. For ourselves, for each other, for our future generations. criticalmassradio.co.uk. Now, it's our turn.
Indeed it is. And also for those that want to get involved with the children and the homeschooling network that we're setting up for everyone around this planet, pop by Kate's Kids Cove on Facebook. And we also have a Skype group set up dedicated strictly for those that are working in this. Joe Terra, you're one of the individuals. We have Maria, Christy, Borean, I know you're in that group, Ninja, and so many others. Again, there are so many people now, there is no way I'm going to be able to remember everybody. There are that many, and what a complaint to have. A couple of quick little shout-outs to people that had just sent me Facebook requests. Thanks, Stella, Lewis, and Mick for jumping in during the show there to get on the Facebook. And I have received a few messages already from people. And let me see. I have Nadia. I'm just going to. Not sure if she sent me a request, but I'm just going to double check here, because if she hasn't, I'll send her one. And confirm request. It just hasn't got to me yet, Nadia, but now you're in the game, so there you go. Just that. See how tough it is? This is how tough I make it to get a hold of me and everybody else at this table. If there's someone at this table you need to get a hold of, I have already connected a few people today via phone numbers, and I know those that they share information with are the ones that are wide open in the same way that I am to make sure that we all connect here. So just a great big shout out. Nadia, got you in there, baby. And I don't even know how many more places I have left here. Let me just double check. And then we'll get these mics continuing for the rollover. Come on, Bob, you're in there first, and it's looking like Amy has called in too, and I was so hoping that Amy was going to call in tonight, being ex-law enforcement. I have room for no more people on my Facebook, and of course, I know I've still got a few deactivated accounts in there. I just spent a few hours yesterday cleaning out 25 or 30 spaces, so I know there's probably at least that again. So if I need to make room, I will. Come, Bob, how are you?
Oh, was that me?
That's you, Bob. I knew it was you. I just wanted to say the whole thing in case you were wondering who you were.
Well, actually, Kate, I'm not sure this. I've only just woken up, my friend, and I'm in that rubbery sort of dozy, and it's beautiful.
The dream world, I call it.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. So, yeah, I'm just gonna, stay at the table, mute my mic, and make myself a cup of coffee, and just absorb the energy. It's just so beautiful. It's just like yesterday, it felt somebody pulled the plug on my energy. I just.
A lot of us are cleaning out right now, Bob.
Oh yeah. I had a big shift on the Friday show. I'm still recovering from that. Just shifted so much stuff. But I'll just continue to listen to myself up with you. And good now, everybody, and good now, Borean, and good now, Amy.
Here we go.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Love you, Bob.
Okay, I'll shut it out.
Right on. Amy and Colleen, you're in the call here. I'm just going to check to see if Barbara, if it's quiet where she is. And no, it's not. So don't worry, Barbara, get you in whenever it gets a bit quieter on your end. But Amy and Colleen, Amy, go ahead, hon. It's wonderful to have you, as always, with everybody. I love everybody.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say I'm speechless. I'm just speechless, and I'm listening, and I'm here, and wow, White Knight. Oh my God. Oh man, I'm just speechless. This is just hold on, you guys. We're going home. That's all I have to say. I love you all.
Truth takes you home, Amy. Guaranteed. I'm still reeling from the effects of Steve's comments. These comments hit home so deeply, and I don't know about you, but there's nothing more impactful on the heart than the touch of a feather. Let that sink in. Amy, or Colleen, and again, the table's open, guys, so let's again play the fair around the table. Randy, I got you in. Colleen, your mic's open, and
I'm here,
we got
Kate.
Okay, 2.5 minutes. We got room for one more caller, and I've got area code 772 mic open. Coral, your mic is open, and again, you know the routine here, guys. When stuff finished, whoever hasn't had a say yet, please come in. I want to make sure that everyone gets to the table tonight. Colleen, go ahead, my love.
Oh, my heart is just so full. And you just played the message for CMR, and the words, a pivotal point in history, and isn't it tonight? Talking about white and You know, the children are speaking. They're speaking for the adults. And, you know, we got to do better than this. Many are doing wonderful, wonderful work and standing up. And, you know, more has to stand up. More parents have to stand up and say, we're not taking our babies or our children to the doctors to be vaccinated. And we are standing, and we're not going to take our children to these schools of conditioning. We're not going to do it anymore. And it reminds me of a quote, one of my favorite quotes, and I wanted to dedicate this to White. And it's a writer from India, and her name is Arundhati Roy, and I've quoted her before on this show. And the quote is, "Another world is not only possible, she is on her way. On a quiet day, I can hear her breathing." And this is dedicated from me to White.
I remember that quote.
Yes.
And
I can
by the
hear
way, guys,
her breathing.
Yeah, we're just rolling over now, and the board is full. I couldn't get any more on it. We tried anyway. So there you go. I got to tell you guys, I remember, Randy, just one sec. I just want to share this with you guys. I remember the days on radio when I was excited about having 1, 2, or 3 callers, and now we're maxing the boards out, and this is exactly what I'd love to see. Randy, go ahead, friend.
Well, sister, I was just chiming in to tell you that I love you all, but and Steve also, but you were commenting beautifully about that, something like still reeling after what Steve said, and then on my end you cut out. So I didn't hear anything after that until you said, okay, I'm going to bring these people in. So I don't know if that was, pertinent for everyone to hear it or what. Intent is there, I know. Just saying, that's all. Maybe I cut out now.
Actually, it didn't cut out. It didn't cut out, Randy. It just went silent.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just to let it sink in.
Well, the point being with me is I've spent a lifetime of being, if you want to go zodiacal, being an Aries, and being an I am, and not following the system and walking my own road and standing my ground right or wrong, and always searching for the best right that I could find. And it's taken a long, long time and to have a child touch my heart and let me know that that's what I've known all along, that it's not the fight and the physical, it's the truth and the spiritual and the combination of the two that come together that make us humans. For we are not just spiritual and we're not just physical. Those are the ends of the duality, and we stand in the middle, as Kate always says, the neutral ground. And she so perfectly showed me the neutral ground.
Yes.
We win through peace, not war. We played the war game. That hasn't worked out too well for us, I don't think. Just didn't make sense anymore. And thank you, Steve, because I got to tell you, I've had some very profound relationships with so many of you over the last few years, where we came together on this common ground of the what the fuck is going on. We got to figure this out. and we are all coming at it from our own unique perspectives, as we must do. We only you know your way, as only I know mine. And the magic of it for me was learning how to not be so taught, as in indoctrinated or tight, where we could learn to begin weaving with each other to see the fabric that we can create together. Because when you have the loom pulled too tight, the spinner can't travel properly to weave it. So it has to be set, just like a guitar string, it has to be set to a certain frequency in order to get the right song. And that's what I think we've all been doing. I'll speak for me, learning to adjust my own frequency, my own string tension, so that I'm not too tight and not too loose. It's like the bed, the three bears, one's too hard, one's too soft, and this one's just right. And I think that for me is finding that just right note within me. I had the joy, and I will say the joy and absolute terror of an internal war within me for my whole life, battling myself to find that center of what the hell is wrong with me, only to find out that which was wrong with me was exactly what was right with me. And this curse, as I called it most of my life for over 4 decades, became the most perfect blessing to me for the perspective it gave me. And all I had to do was come to terms with me. No one else, nothing else. The only one I was afraid of was me. And I had to overcome that, and I'm still working on it. This is the table we work at this for. It takes time. It's like I am you, you are me. We do this together, and I am no different and no more special than any one of you, because we're all the same in that regard, that we have this beautiful uniqueness, and it's finding our own way, our own paths, our own center, to see how we all weave with each other. And I tell you, you will get a much more beautiful fabric when you are shining the light and the love and letting others know how absolutely stunningly beautiful and perfect they are, where they've been told their whole lives that there's something desperately wrong with them. And that's what our society has done to us. And no more to the children, no more. They are the perfect ones. We are the ones to learn from them. And this is how this ship got turned around. And I got to tell you, that ship turned between yesterday and today. It has done a complete readjustment to head to Cygnus, Divine Feminine. We're going home.
Killed it. Thank you.
Hey, Kate, isn't that interesting how in just a matter of a couple of days that the snake came through my yard, and then Ninja saw the snake?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And let's look at her future.
You know that. Yes, and the day before, she said snake in the grass before she started to share her experience. And the day before I saw the snake, I was listening to the show, and I had this feeling. It's a feeling I can't put my finger on yet, but there's something. What came to me when I was walking the day before I saw the snake was a snake in the grass, a snake in the grass. And so you know what that means, a deceiver. There's a deceiver among us. There's some kind of energy that is flowing. I have to say it on the Emerald Table, what I'm picking up. And so that went through me, a deceiver in the grass, and then the next night the snake came. And now Ninja, before she told her story, she used the same words, snake in the grass, and I never said that when I told my story the other night. So for what it's worth, there you go.
Oh, again, we're dealing with coincidences after coincidences. We don't deal in the realm of the luck. We'll leave that for the Piscean fish heads that still think something has to be believed to be true instead of just accepting it to be true, or not. Look at it from both sides. So, again, there's not much in this reality that can surprise me, and to be able to see what Wayne posted on my Facebook page today. I was waking up this morning fully knowing that, I'm 5 hours behind UK, fully knowing that whatever was going to transpire had already transpired by the time I get up. And I go to my computer. People wonder, how do you keep at this, Kate? Well, I'll tell you, coming to the computer to me is like Christmas morning every day. Because I want to see how much crazy, awesome stuff has been happening around the world overnight. So my favorite time of the day on the computer is the morning, because so much new and wonderful stuff, plus all sorts of new people contacting and getting in the loop. Actually, Colleen, there was someone that was looking to contact you down in Cali, someone close to you. That's a listener, or I don't like using listener, guys. We're all equal at this table. So in that light, just if I ever say that, don't take that as a host listener thing. It's no, we sit at this table equal. Other table members, let's just try that one. That probably feels better for me. But other table members trying to get a hold of other members, by all means. And until people say they don't want to be contacted, I'm just going to keep it flowing in the same way that I grant wishes of I am here. And for those that are wondering, to get a hold of me, I do like to share this because pretty much, well, I can't say pretty much, but everyone that comes to this table, I'm in direct contact with anyway. So if there's anyone that you need to hook up with, please feel free to contact me, and I'll make that aware. Also, anyone that is working on any translations, the one to contact is Ninja Bambi. If you need to contact me first to get her contact, no problem. You can get me on Skype at katie.renee.thompson. That's katie.renee.thompson. And, of course, I've got a handful of spots left on Facebook right now, kate.renee.5, kate.renee.5. And that being said, even if you're not in the friends and contacts on Facebook, you can still message me direct. I have a wide open page. There's also a Kate of Gaia discussion group that you can go to where there are many of us there. And, of course, Kate's Kids Cove to get a hold of all of the people organizing and working on that environment for the children to run their own learning regimen versus somebody else trying to ram something down their throats. So that's, for me, critically important. For those that may not have access to these things all the time, I do give up my cell phone to get a hold of me. And I'm going to say this. When I answer the phone, I do, okay? Do not be surprised.
It really is her.
It really is me. And you don't have to say, oh, wow, is this Kate? Yes, it is. Because like you, when the phone rings, I answer it. The number is 226-971-9675. And if that were ever to change, I would let you know what that is as well, because it doesn't make any sense for us to have this table if it's not accessible to all. And I love playing conduit to be that. And the universe always, people say, how do you handle it, Kate? Well, because I asked the universe a long time ago. And this game works perfectly. I am never overwhelmed anymore. It's pretty cool, actually. That's why I like having the time to write silly, fun emails to poke truth at police chiefs and governments and kings and queens and popes and shit. Because that's the kind of stuff that floats my boat. I just love pasting Babylon Has Fallen all over police and newspaper sites across the planet. I was on a phone call with Mike and Mark about an hour before the show, and they were trying to have a conversation, and I wasn't interested in the conversation. I'm saying, okay, who's next? Who can I hit next? Give me some names. Come on, guys, So I was finding Facebook contacts and popping, while we're talking, I was just popping the link everywhere. I probably did about it. I'd say between 100 and 150 posts of that particular video today, so it should be very interesting. And, of course, I hit every group that I'm a part of in Facebook. So it probably, just in that alone, it probably went out to 500,000 people. So there you go. That's how you change the world. And everyone has this power. When you send it out, guys, when you know who you are, when you're not the legal name, and you know the distinction, it's your soul you get back. And now when you send something out, you're sending out a contract in a state of full causal. That's your God mode.
You're not overwhelmed because you're at your home.
Yeah, that's right. Uh-huh. Well put. Yeah. So jump in here, guys. The feather's all yours. I'm just going to sit back.
Hi, Kate.
Hey, how are you? Is this Coral?
Yes, this is Coral. It's my first
Hi,
time
Coral.
getting on Skype with you.
Nice.
I hope you can hear me clearly. Hi,
loud
Colleen.
and
Hi, everyone
loud
at the
and clear.
table and everyone
Hi.
up there.
Good to hear you.
Hi. Hi,
And
I'm
there's-
Coral. I'm a nameaholic.
Yeah, former nameaholic, right? Recovering.
Yeah.
We're all recovering. And that was
Yes,
I
that
was Magnolia that jumped in there
I'm
too.
glad that you gave time to share your thoughts, and Colleen as well, because just as you had announced that I was on the call, I always get nervous just before it's time for me to speak or share something. And then I was pushed to tears because of, Steve and what Borean had to say. It just really touched me, and just what's happening with White Knight and how she's just waking up the world. And I, of course, am also sharing, with my housemates, what she's doing, because everyone's at their different levels of awakening to what's happening around the world and in our own world. And I find it interesting, Colleen, that you talked about the snake and then ninja, because earlier when I was listening, I had a dream about black snakes a few months ago. And then I also, I don't know if you received that YouTube video that was going around of the snake that was eating its own tail, the Ouroboros, basically. And in a lot of my meditations, I was constantly getting, the message of the Ouroboros, and, to just see the actual picture and how some teachers out there have interpreted it. It makes it sound like, that, the system is eating itself. But then there's another interpretation of infinite and all is one. And sometimes, with some of the teachers like Savan and others who share that, sometimes you have to eat certain parts of yourself in order for the new to come about. So, that's kind of how I'm seeing the Ouroboros, as not necessarily something so scary anymore as the way the symbolism has made it seem, that we're coming to a point now where we're just eating and transmuting all of this dark energy and making it into something beautiful and positive that will benefit us all. And I thought, wow, here's Ninja talking about the snake, and here's Colleen talking, and showing this beautiful picture of the California king snake, and me getting these constant messages about research Ouroboros. So, and it just all comes full circle, no pun intended. I also wanted to share that I started to do one of those silly little, mamby-pamby Facebook posts where I took all of my old identification. I'm taking baby steps here with the nameaholic and getting rid of old Mark of the Beast identifications. And I've narrowed it down to only like 2 or 3 pieces of identification. But I looked back into my little box where I had all of this old school IDs, old credit cards that I didn't use anymore, old this, just everything. And I took it last week and I just, cut it up in like very small pieces and put it in a pile. And it's like, oh, I should take a picture of this and put it on Facebook. But, I have like, there's my certain group of friends from high school who are still caught in the matrix of the religious what have you, and just the whole identity thing that would not get it. And of course you guys would get it, but I just didn't want to seem like, look at what I did. So I just kind of released it and said, okay, that's step 1. And then today I took another step where I walked out of the house with only my car keys. And I kept wanting to grab my driver's license because I knew I was going to be driving to this location where I love to go and do some grounding. And it's like, no, I'm not going to do it. And I kept running back in the house with, oh, yeah, but I forgot this and I forgot that. And I finally just walked out the door with only my keys and a bag of nail clippings because I love to leave my DNA around. And that was it, you know. And it felt so freeing. I mean, I thought that I would feel fearful when I'd see a police car, but it was as if I was invisible. It was like this movie I saw with Will Smith and his son where they were kind of like ghosting, and I kept saying to myself, I'm ghosting right now. You know? So, you know,
that's
just,
after Earth.
awesome.
Great allegory of what it means to be untouchable.
Yes. So I just wanted to share that and just say that I'm just elated with, you know, all that's happening. And because of White Knight and her bravery, it's just kind of just spreading out all over in all of our lives. Just she's touching all of us with her bravery and her, you know, just awareness. So thank you.
Yes, thank you, Coral. Beautiful.
Right back at you. And again, everyone is at their own particular level, so do not demean yourself. The fact that you're at this table means that you are like way beyond the norm.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, no need to worry about that. I get that a lot from people. I'm not quite there yet, and it's just, damn it, you're here. Breathe and hang out. Don't worry, it'll click. Guaranteed it'll click. You hang out at this table long enough, it'll click. How many of you guys? Now I'm gonna do the shout out to the people that are at the table that have been around for a while. How many of you? I mean, Steve's already made it very crystal clear. But how many of you have come to this table with those same kind of doubts? Me too. Okay, include me in this, right? And where it finally gets and it goes click, and you go, oh my me, aha! Now I get it. And it hits you like a bolt of lightning in the twinkling of an eye. And welcome to Interstate 60. Welcome to the Yellow Brick Road. Welcome to what you need to be at to get what you need. This is why you're here. And I just want to do a quick shout out to Belle Lovelight down under. Okay, we're already friends on Skype. Skype Veggie Butterfly. No problem. Belle, I'm going to put you in with the Australian New Zealand group, and of course the main room. I thought I had you already. And get you sorted out. And guys, please we got the game, right? This is all I want you to focus on right now. We've got the game. And the most important thing everyone can do right now is just breathe. Spend the time with you. Don't worry about it. The consciousness overall is absolutely bristling with this. And the minute you get quiet and breathe, it's going to download so fast because you know it's there. It's like the waiter/waitress has got the meal waiting for you, and you're dancing around the table. Sit the fuck down. It will be served. It's waiting for you. And don't be so hard on yourself, okay, guys? Don't. And I keep telling you this, and I do it to myself too. So we're all the same. I just learned to stop beating myself up so much.
772 here, Kate.
Hey, how are you? Good to have you.
Yeah, it's Yosoy here. You remember me? I've been on with you through the years. You know, I've been back since the days of Tony, and we were talking about pyramids and you know, and
I know
just
the voice
to watch
very well.
just to watch this whole progression. I mean, as we've, you know, over like 2 years or whatever it's been now that I've been, you know, at the table, and just listening to as you started turning inward, the table started turning inward to look for these solutions. You know, it felt like, oh, this is never going to happen, and it just seemed like the more we progressed, and look where we are. I mean, like, behold the pale white horse, baby, there's the white, you know, the white knight. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, to see this progress and the phonics and from where it was. I mean, when I came in, we were so literal, but yeah, just explosion.
And the best part, you want the best part? This is the part I focus on all the time. The best part of it right now is it only gets better from here. Because all we can do now is keep adding aha moments onto where we're at. So tell me the
exactly. That's what I was going to say too. Is like even over the years, as I thought I was getting those aha moments to where I figured this, I've got it now, and it just seemed like a day would go by and then another aha moment, and then again, and I mean, I just want to encourage people to like follow that yellow brick road. I mean, you know, I went through my life. I was born on Independence Day. I started looking at these things, the bicentennial of America. Just where I live. I now live in Vero Beach, you know, the truth of creation. I literally live on Highway 60 in Vero Beach. I mean, I live a block away from it, and I've lived on this route ever since I moved here. It's just crazy. I mean, that's like a double allegorical for me, you know, just like if I ain't on the right path. I moved into a house where there's they got a crab-like mosaic on the ground. You know, I'm a Cancer. I mean, there was a Cygnus swan in my window, and you know, none of this stuff I put there. I just moved into this house, and I mean, I cut up my IDs, and I had a customer offer me a place to live, you know, and understood my story and what I was doing, and I just got to tell people, man, you just got to trust it. Let go.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, so you were on this morning, weren't you?
Yes, I was on with
Yes,
hey,
you were.
Hi, it's Colleen. I know you said Florida, and I go to Vero Beach quite often. My sister lives there.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I'll let you know next
Coral,
time I come.
I just want to do a quick shout out to Coral. I sent you a Skype request. The sooner you answer it, the sooner I can jump you into the Skype rooms. And by the way, guys, text me if you're with me on Skype. Text me direct one-on-one if you want to be involved with the Kate's Kids Cove. If you want to be involved, I've got numerous rooms set up. We've people in different areas. We have Australia, New Zealand. We have the Netherlands. We have UK. We have USA. We have Canada. We have all of these different groups set up so that people that are in different areas on the planet can connect collectively, okay? And again, this is up to you guys. Once you're connected into a group, that way you can, and you're part of the main group, and these are little hubs that came off of this, so that it's not to separate. What it is to reinforce that connectedness of people close to you. This is the critical thing. The instant you feel their support is the instant that you really just start flying. And that's what this is all about, because we do this together, shoulder to shoulder. And it has been such a profound, when is this going to happen? And it's just happening more and more. And we're seeing the absolute causal effects of what it is that we're doing. And we're just talking about it. Have you noticed? We're just thinking it, and it's changing. We're just posting little seeds here and there, and the whole thing is shifting. I got to tell you, for White, and look at the odds of this, okay? The same sergeant that walked away from the car when White said, "No names here, mate," and yeah, you're excused, was the exact same one that showed up today and defended White, that said, and Wayne, and said to the mistress, "Yeah, okay, well, you're telling me that they're not going to mention his daughter's name because he knows the power of what this is. So I'm going to leave an officer here that if you do mention her name, he's under orders to arrest you." That is the soul that we're looking for. Look at the movie Warm Bodies, prime example. Okay?
And the same officer. Hello.
Yeah, just you know.
Oh my God. Is that not a sign or what?
Oh, it's totally there. And Jane already added you to the Aussie room, so you might have to refresh your Skype. Oh, done. Already done. So, yeah, guys, my computer's lit up here right now. Talk about walking and chewing gum. Good thing I'm a Gemini.
It's all so beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah, Bob.
Oh.
There we
go. He woke up. Hi, Bob.
Yeah. Thank you. It's so warm and cozy. You know, it's like that puppy basket, snugly feeling. Yeah. The concept of seeds and stuff. You know, and this is just, you know, fresh off the wire or whatever. It really isn't for me. I really like thanking you if you're still there, darling. Because on your Friday show or my Saturday show, you said something about just looking for clues, just picking up clues, and it takes me a while to process things, but it, you know, I sort of just latched onto that. Now, this has just been my process, looking for clues, and I'm sitting here in, you know, my now, in this present moment, thinking, well, where are clues? Clues are in the past. For me, you know, like, there are no clues in the now. And I don't have to worry about the future because I know it unfolds, and it does unfold for me in total alignment with my conscious intention that I have set for my life. So thanks so much for that, Ninja, because it really helped me to crystallize that. For me, there are no clues in the now, and the more I stay in the now, and I don't worry about the future, because I know I'm in control of the manifestation of my future. So thanks once again, Ninja. Yeah, it's lovely. Oh, Kate, could you add me to the...
Oh, you're breaking up there? Your Skype, I can add you for sure. I'm going to actually try to see if Barb is, her line is quiet where she is. And Mags, you're in the call as well. And let me see. Did I? Oh, no.
Hi,
okay.
darling.
Hey, there you are.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Max.
Hi, everyone. Steve. Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to make a little comment. We were talking about Miss White. My, what a lovely little lady. Anyway, the gentleman had spoke earlier about innocence and how powerful the innocence of the child is. Well, innocence reclaimed. I've discovered that innocence reclaimed is just as powerful as innocence born, and that's what we're trying to remember to get back to. And the closer we get back to being that childlike spirit, if you, I don't know if I'm explaining that right. We losing the fear. We can stand on our own. We start getting these epiphanies, and my Lord, we start creating. I just wanted to throw that in there. That it's not just the children. Us old guys can get our innocence back too, and enjoy seeing our lives through the eyes of our child that we remember we used to be before we were programmed, used and abused and screwed with, and you know what I mean? That's it.
That's exactly what I said on the morning show, Meg.
Oh, was it? Oh my gosh.
Yes, well, because Kate came on and she was telling us about White and that the children are changing the world, and they're the most powerful presence on the earth, and I totally agree, and that's what I said. And right behind them are the adults who have their inner child fully aware and awake, and that's what you just said.
Yeah, that's what we're all getting back to, and that's where I'm finding my joy is coming back now. As I've gotten rid of my ego and gone through a lot of stuff and followed my little yellow brick road, and it was just so funny. On Monday, it's 5:12. I live at 2:15. Anyway, it's just little epiphanies here and there, and all kinds of crazy stuff that's been going on.
And what was that
I found the
quote?
Wizard of Oz.
And what is the quote on that from in the Bible of unless you become as little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven? What is that, Kate?
Something like that. I don't know.
What was it again?
Unless you become as little children,
you
will never be able to enter the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah, and this is the thing, and what's happening at this table more than anything is we're rediscovering our childlike innocence. I like to share it in the same way that, can you imagine being 8? Go back to being 8 years old. Remember, you want to build forts and play here and do things and whatever else. Now imagine being that age and having access to, and I have to use it in a literal allegory so people get the concept, not literal, okay? Imagine being handed an unlimited American Express to go and get whatever things you need to build your fort instead of dragging little bits of wood. And that's what we're doing right now, is we are those innocent children again with the tools that we need to build the most awesome couch forts, tree forts, backyard gardens, whatever the case, whatever you want to create. And that's where we're returning to. The innocence of the child is coming back, and only in that innocence, with the wisdom. Remember, this is what
Yes.
you're that's where you get through the gates of heaven, and the gates of kingdom of heaven is within, and that's what people are missing. I go back to the allegorical story of it is easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle than it is for a rich man to enter the gates of heaven. And I've explained that one many times. The whole allegory means that your camel, your ka-mi-el, which is a spirit of magnetic electric intent, the true you, will not be able to get through the eye of a needle, and is not the one that you have thread with. The needle is a doorway, a very narrow doorway, only wide enough for an unpacked camel to get through into the city, or the kingdom of heaven allegory. Which means you've got to get rid of garbage, the luggage, the emotions, the left brain clutter. Math Magic, the Disney little clip, I think it's 15 minutes. Math Magic is a beautiful allegory of exactly what I just said there. But do not be fooled by the glamorous doors and the gates and the glitter, because the door that gets through is the very plain, very simple one, and it is not adorned in majesty and light and glitter and all the rest of it. And that's what unfortunately happens with most people. They get caught up in light or Luciferian illusion of replacing their spiritual self with material things. The very things that we all create, we are at effect to, which is the complete mirror of what the aspect or essence of God is all about. So there you go. Just like that.
That's it. But you said it, Kate, with the wisdom, because it's like, oh my gosh, that beautiful, pure, wonderful innocence of night, and then with the wisdom. What a power. Is that my phone?
I don't know whose phone that is. I'm just checking down the board right now. Nope, not sure who that is. If someone's got a loose cable or whatever, just please mute out on your end. It could be a loose headset. Sounds like a connection or a bit of a broken line there. I don't know who it is. So, and Coral, I have you in with me, so there's no way on earth that I can mute you. So just letting you know that. Look at the power you wield. I bring people in with me. I can't shut you up.
Damn, I wish I'd have known that the other night when you brought me in with you.
Hey, and that's got to be Janet's background. It has to be Janet.
Yeah.
Hi, Janet.
Hi, guys. Yeah, the grandkids are excited. I've been sharing about light, and and there's thunder and lightning, and we're surrounded by 300 olive trees, and now they have 22 goats, and so it's like all these allegories, and it's just amazing energy and so beautiful. Yeah, I've really been enjoying the energy, and it's just really hard to have words, but I'm really, really touched too. So I love you all. That was what we wanted to chime in.
I love
Perfect.
you.
And
good to hear your voice.
Good to hear your giggle. We love your voice, but Janet, you bring that beautiful effervescent, bubbling brook still with you. I love it.
Yes, and the little ones come along with you.
Yeah, thanks. And you guys too. I love it. Really, really, really do.
Ditto.
Thank you for sharing that poem the other morning too about the emerald table. It was beautiful, Janet.
Oh, thanks, Colleen. Thank you. Yeah.
And I got your message too.
Oh, good.
Is it Skyly? Is it Skyly, your granddaughter?
Skyly, yeah. She was listening, and she said, wow, that helped me a lot.
Yeah.
But I have, I couldn't jump in. My timing, I'm working on it.
Give her a hug for me.
I am right now. She's sitting right here by me. So
Hi, Skyly.
I have to reiterate with Kate.
Hi, Skyly. Hey, Kate, I wanted to say, too, that I'm available to anybody who has questions about, vaccinating their children or about homeschool. I'm just coming out the other end of that after 15 years with my daughter. She's now 18, almost 19. And so I would love if anybody, just wants somebody to talk to about it, because I know especially parents and mothers, they doubt themselves and question, and there's so much fear porn out there if they don't vaccinate their children. And my daughter never got anything, nothing, not even, when she was born, nothing. And she is a very healthy, balanced, 19-year, almost 19, and we did get through the teenage years. So I just wanted to offer that they can get me on Facebook. I'm not on Skype yet.
Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay,
Are you
there?
Yeah.
No, I just went quiet there. I'm not on Skype yet, and then I went quiet. I thought, okay. You know me, always in the recording, right? Just let's keep this going. It's beautiful. Well, may I make a suggestion, Colleen? Because there are so many people on Skype that, and I'm going to say this to everybody out there that calls in that doesn't have Skype. Please get on Skype so we can get you in with the rest of the group. There are hundreds upon hundreds in these groups, and they are around the planet, and they fan out into thousands. Yes. Right? I've got over 2,000 contacts in my own Skype alone. So don't tell me you're not wielding power in these groups. And the more we gather together with common goals, common ideals, and common benevolence, the more potent our ability to contract it out. We're the contractors now. Remember that. The faster and the better it gets. It's just, I think it's going exponential right now. Look what's happened in the last month or two. I mean, seriously. I got to tell you, the big paradigm shift for me was not so much March 14th. That was the culmination of everything I had to be tested on that night. But March 15th, that vision aspect was a complete paradigm shift for me, and it has got nothing but brighter and brighter and brighter since that day. So we came through the allegorical long, cold winter. Many, many seeds were planted in very hard soil, but we are coming through the spring now, and this summer is going to have bounty upon bounty for the harvest. And I would not want to be anything other than benevolent at harvest time.
That's what I was going to reiterate on is what you had said about the fact that how short of a time ago, and Colleen, you were there, how short of a time ago did we sit at this table and just a few of us beating our heads together trying to figure out what the fuck, And now, my God, look at this. We're meeting each other. I just had friends from Georgia over at the house last week, and everybody's meeting each other, and the children are meeting together now, and oh my God, what have we done? It's just an amazing, amazing thing.
Mm-hmm.
We did exactly what we were supposed to do, and I told you you're perfect, and I told you were right. You've been right all along, and the joy of this is we get beautiful beings, brand new back to the game, like White and so many other children. Just to remind you that you're right, you're perfect. Let's play.
Yeah, you fucking told me. Now I'm finally fucking listening. Okay.
Me too. I had to listen too.
About fucking time.
Exactly. You know what we should do, Steve? What we should do is go back over the show and see who was the bigger mouthpiece. I think I might have one up on you.
Oh, I'm the best one. No, I'm the best.
Can you? No, I was a bigger asshole than you. Hey, hang on.
I was a bigger asshole than you. Asshole.
All right, you guys.
Now,
when we talk about going back to that innocent childhood, it's not that bickering.
No, it's not. It's fun.
Oh, we weren't bickering. We were having love with each other.
Of course, I know that.
True
siblings. Like brothers, right? Oh, Randy posted on my...
It's brother-sister thing because I had 5 sisters. I had 5 sisters, and I had 2 brothers.
Oh, my goodness.
No, we're having brother and sister.
Ooh, is there a storm somewhere?
Serious cable issues. Bob, it's on your end, so check your connections. I can see your picture screaming at me.
Are you talking about BK, California?
No, Bob. I brought him into the call. There's something up with your connection, Bob. It's got to be in your headset. Open line. It's really crazy.
Because I'm hearing it, you want to?
Can you mute your Skype on your end?
Is that better? Okay.
No, that's getting a little better. Yeah, it's something up with your headset cable.
I'll come in on a conference call, so how do I do that? I'll just
when you're not talking, just mute out. Otherwise, well, we only got like 14 minutes to do, but I don't know if I can have 14 minutes of white people. Bob, I'm gonna have to end the call with you. I can't keep going.
Wow.
Nothing. Oh, did you mute?
Here we go.
Oh no, he just looks like he's dropped out. Yeah, because that's oh no, he's still there. Something happened anyway. I don't know what's going on. Okay, there we go. That's better. Thank you. All right. We have Richie. Richie hasn't had a say yet. He just showed up.
Hey, Richie.
Hello.
Hey.
Alvita's here.
Wow.
Hello.
Wow.
Oh,
hi,
Alvita's
Richie.
here too.
All right.
Yes.
Hey.
Alvita.
Wow.
Hey, girl.
Alvita. Hey, everyone. Listen, everybody. Yeah. All I can say is perfect. Perfect, beautiful, awesome, amazing. I'm blown away. And yeah, this spring, this summer, we're going supernova.
Oh yeah.
Literally, supernova. And just so many people I wanted to comment on, and this energy, I mean, affects me. I mean, it's just. I'm just blown away. We're just friggin' amazing, and we're seeing it, and it's just going to get better. Yeah, you know, this whole table is absolutely just friggin' amazing. Amazing. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless.
Speechless.
For a change.
Oh, well, I talked to Barbara for an hour today on the phone. So me and her and Cora, we're going to meet up real soon, maybe around my birthday, the end of the month. But, yeah, we're starting to meet up now. So, yes, there's a whole lot going on. It's all good. I'm happy.
Moving on up.
The kids come out in May. Yeah.
Hey, I had my nephew listening in too. My sister and my nephew were down, and yeah, I started awake. I woke up, fell asleep, and woke up again. And it's a long story, but anyways, my niece with the vaccination and stuff too. I'm going down the rabbit hole and cherry picking everywhere, and I pretty much I got forceful, not forceful, but I'm like, just friggin' can't you? Just see this, and neither of them got vaccination shots. My she's got a little baby, little mulatto kid, right? Love her to death, right? And well, I shouldn't say that. Here's my nephew here, Rye. They're down, and I had the phone for the first first half of the show. We had the phone between us, and I was letting him listen in. I said, you got to listen to these guys, and he said he's going to tune in, once a week. And
But same thing with my niece, because there's just a lot of things that a lot of people aren't aware of, and that's just one of them. That's just one of the many things that have been uncovered here at this table, and is growing. Like everyone's saying, exponentially, and so and also too is my sister and the people is when you shift and change. For me, I really don't see it myself, but others see it. Others begin to see it, and you feel it. You feel it. You know it. And it's just it's really hard to put words to it. It's just that knowingness, and like you guys are talking about is rediscovering that child, remembering, restoring, atoning. What's the other thing? Reborn. Those are all good words to me. They resonate, and it's just something we definitely feel it. There's a shift, huge, and I just want to comment. It's like I'm trying to remember everything that everyone has said. What Darren said, I listened in yesterday and the day before, and I'm going to have to go back to the shows and listen to them because there's just so many things I wanted to comment on. The lady that was talking she was talking about her license. She wanted to put her license on the internet, take a picture of them, and what's beautiful is that people. With Kate saying, because I think people are thinking that, right, we're going to do it all at once. Like Kate says, we're going through the fast food restaurant looking for a 5-course meal, and we don't get it. And it's supposed to be ready in a minute and a half, and we're laying on the horn at 1:31, right? And the patience, like she said, that's exactly what it is. Just baby steps, doing little things, and she said it was so freeing. Breaking away, and that's what's going supernova. Is freeing ourselves from that those invisible bars. So, anyways, that's where I'm at. I'm just excited and going for the ride, and I'm riding right along with you guys. We're steering this ship. We're the crew, and you know what I do? The word clue, like clues. I get rid of the L. Put the R in there. Yeah, I'll shift it back too, but we're the crew. We're the clue. We're the crew with the clues. And, we're steering this ship, and we're sailing these 7 seas. And everybody's just beautiful. Awesome. Here's the fella.
You go back to the French word clou, or clues. It means nail. And then you have the not applicable eel or isle. Remember, this goes back to, I forget who wrote the book. Jordan Maxwell actually claimed he did, but it is plagiarized work. Something regarding the eels, ILLES. And I just thought it was interesting when you said clue, and what triggered was nails, not applicable eels, which when you put the nail into the coffin, that's when you remove that right angle L, right? Which is the masculine intent. And again, the L is the upside down 7, and you have the right angle of the V, which is so prominent in so much of the symbolism that those wanting to control the reality use. And people take it for granted, but you have to remember that the language of light is sound. It's just a higher frequency, and you're just using different ears to hear it. The ears to the light are your eyes, and this is why I remind people to start seeing with your ears and listening with your eyes. And it really, for me, that was a very profound moment for me when that concept struck home. And it really, what it allows you to do is step beyond the allegory into the anagogic, where you get a better. You're not taking it literally, because that's the problem with literalists. They keep it circular and don't get out of that loop. And what Coral was saying about the Ouroboros, interesting that there was that picture on my Facebook a couple of weeks back of a stressed out snake eating its tail, and that's what they do. And that's exactly what's happening with the system right now, the Ouroboros, or the Dragon Society, which their symbol is the dragon eating its tail, is it's now consuming itself to the point of oblivion. And all we got to do is stay the course. And it is so mind-numbingly simple. It's crazy, isn't it? All you got to do is send out your intent, right? There's no need to go chasing after documents. I need my source birth certificate. You'll never get it. And you don't need to get it because it was a deception to begin with. The fact that they have it in possession means that it's theirs, and all you're doing is granting the wish back. Every birth registration, everything that was ever done to deceive humanity into a legal name and thinking that they were something less than a part of Creator itself, this goes back countless millennia, for those that first duped humanity, they've got a terrible price to pay. A terrible price to pay. But that's not what I would do, and I'm quite content to carry on and find the things that I would do that are benevolent and understand the things that would affect others in a negative way with intention to harm is not something I would do. I come across pretty harmful some nights to egos, but again, an ego is just a program. I equate it to bitch slapping a television set. That's all. And what I'm trying to do is turn the TV set off so I can see the most beautiful essence, the most perfect light in the universe. That's you. And I'll do anything it takes to not only clear the glass to see you, but shatter it so that it will never create another reflection outside of yourself other than the most perfect essence of what you are. And if that means walking around with a 10-pound sledgehammer and, dusting your eggs with it, I will dust your eggs with a 10-pound sledgehammer, but I might break it in the process.
I have a
That's
thought.
amazing, Kate. That's amazing. It's awesome.
I'm going to throw something out there. Everybody's talking about these higher levels of vibration and these higher frequencies, and we need to reach these higher levels of consciousness. And I tend to ponder that might not be the case. Our energies on this earth come from the sun, and the sun's energies are reaching the lowest point that they've been in some 9,000 years. I have a tendency to think that maybe that their game is played at the higher frequency level. The frequency of the earth is 7.8 megahertz, and that's a very low frequency. So maybe how can you say when you meditate, you quiet down and go to the lower quiet frequencies, and that you want to attain a higher level of vibration? That's a contradiction in terms. So it is in the quietness, it is in the lullness that we perceive ourselves. They can't. They have to have the higher frequencies. That's why we're jarbled up with all the dirty electricity and the microwaves and bombarded constantly. That is their game. We do not live within that game. We are at the lower vibration. And it's not lower as in the negative. It's lower as in the calmness.
Yeah. I was thinking of watching that Mummy, too. There's another one that someone just mentioned. Watch that.
I got a real cool one.
Very interesting.
Yeah, Suspicious Observers one. I know Kate. I watch it, and I don't know if anyone else does. He's a guy I came across a while, and he throws some stuff out there, and he's good. Suspicious Observers, yeah,
and by the way, most people
Steve.
don't know it. He's a lawyer, and I think it's kind of funny that he's doing what he's doing. Just a quick jump in here, guys. We got probably less than 10 minutes, so just keep your thoughts and comments brief. 2 shows tomorrow, 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard, 7 and 9. Roll over into an hour. Okay, so there you go. Take the floor, Colleen.
2 minutes, huh? No, what Steve was saying. So I was thinking, it's like that divine sacred paradox where when you're in meditation and you're in that deep calm, and he was saying about the higher vibration Well, when you're in that deep, deep calm, you just see everything. Everything is fractal and everything merges together. So is that a higher vibration? Is everything speeded up so then you see that? Or is it really slowed down?
See, the speed of light is the illusion. Okay, we think, well, think about this. Think your way to the Orion Nebula. You're already there, and it takes light years to travel. And this is what's happened is we've had effects of the light for so long, when in fact the cause is thought over top of that, and it moves infinitely faster than the speed of light. That's why this whole joke of trying to break the speed of light is such nonsense, because we do it every time we think.
And every time
we are instantaneous.
Instantaneous, baby.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so don't forget that. I'm actually going to touch on that tomorrow night, too, because I think that's a really important thing. Everything in the light, in the physical world, is past. It takes light time to travel. So if you've got your eyes open and you're dealing in the past, with thinking that you were a legal name and any part thereof, what you're telling me is that it's okay to murder children, because it's only with the system and the way everything is set up that these darkest of entities can get away with it. And the biggest joke on humanity is we do it to ourselves. No one is more enslaved than the one that thinks they're free. That's one of the reasons why they sell demonocracy or democracy. And I laugh at, especially at some people that claim to be historical intellectuals, and they talk about constitutional this and that and the other. And usually the first thing out of their face, or it shows up eventually when they mention the kind of government that the United States has. Well, we know it's oligarchy, corporate, but let's keep it really, really simple for the tiny baby minds out there that are still talking about constitutions and everything else, and still think that Second Amendment rights actually matter. What you're dealing with there is basically spiritual retards. There's really no other way to do it. Now, I put together a list. It's going to get added to and whatever. And excuse me, my attitude is very simply this: I can stand on my truth all day long, and it doesn't bother me what I say, how I say it, who I say it to, and what I say about anyone or anything, because by one's actions one is known. I am simply a neutral observer. And when I see people, for instance, that are making large swaths of money on the backs of mankind, selling fear porn, masquerading as the supposed truth, I have issues with that. And nothing is more horrible than commerce. So I'm going to do a run-through on this, a couple of emails I would like to share with everybody as well. And, of course, the latest from Wayne and Great Night. Guys, it doesn't get any better than this, and it doesn't get any funnier. But let me just get on this little list first, because I want to get the shit out of the way so we can get focused on the solutions. But my challenge is quite simple. Any of you fucking monkeys out there that are still trying to sell legal lists and fear porn that, my challenge is real simple. Get over to kateofgaia.wordpress.com, read everything, give me a call, and you better be ready to try to prove it wrong, because I've already tried. And there are millions of us now that know that anyone trying to disprove truth is full of shit anyway, and especially if they've got a vested interest in it. And I don't care if you're a freeman on the land, a sovereign citizen, sovereign type, or patriot group, or whatever. Excuse me, sorry about that. The only thing that I'm concerned with is if you're trying to sell or flaunt or flog any form of legal remedy, you're no different than a cop, a judge, and a lawyer. You're the same piece of scum trying to sell remedy like the scribes and Pharisees. You are still more interested in providing for yourself, you fuck, using bullshit that is only keeping people enslaved and entrapped in the illusion or delusion, thinking that somehow legal is real where it's not. The only thing that is real and legal is that you agree within your reality, and that makes you, plain and simple, fucking bonkers. Okay, so let's just get it right down to the nitty-gritty here. I have not an issue in the world of calling people out, right or wrong. I don't give a fuck. All I'm interested in is truth. And if someone wants to challenge me, by all means, I'm sitting right here. I've talked to a lot of people over the years. Actually, most of the people that I'm about to expose, I have talked to probably 95% or more. I think there's only really one or two individuals on this list that I haven't personally talked to, either Skype, face-to-face, in their company, in their aura, worked with things, in the case of one individual, many years exposing the genocide in Canada, and the only thing that this piece of shit shill was doing was using this heinous crime against humanity as the shield and cover to go around and find witnesses to make damn sure they get murdered. And of course, this individual is I don't know about you, but if you're saying things that are treasonous in terms of the old way of thinking and what have you, I'll tell you right now, if you are just a regular meat stick using the legal name, you'd already be behind bars. So I wonder why these guys travel freely. Well, there can only be a couple of things about that. Well, really only one. Some redeeming qualities if they wake up and do it, but until they actually wake up to the true fraud of what's going on and stop playing in this legal illusion that's harming so many, not only themselves, idiots, but the fact that they're thinking that the legal world is real. They're the ones keeping it alive. Therefore, they're the ones that are harming the children on this planet. Therefore, they are my sworn enemy. Until they wake up. I stand to post, I shall not yield. The destroyer creator shall pass. You choose, creation or destruction. It's your wish, baby. Make it a good one. The list includes Tammy Pepperman, Bono Entertainment, Dean Clifford, Arthur Christian, Irene Mouse Gravenhorst, Robert Menard, Winston Shrout, Jim Maxwell, Santo Bonacci, Max Egan, Roger Hayes, John Harris, Rod Klass, Peter Eugene, Kurt Hollenbach, Carl Lentz, Johnny Guzman, QLP, Andrew Patterson, who works with Kevin Annett, at one time a very dear friend of mine, until he changes that pattern. Sorry, Andrew, you're fucked. Danny Wilton, David Wilcock, Larkin Rose. What was the one I wanted to put in there? At this point, Mark Passio. Sorry, Mark, love you, but you're a fear porner. Any and all free men on the land, sovereign citizen or patriot groups promoting any and all forms of legal remedy or legal rights, illusions, and or fear porn. All lawyers, judges, cops, both groups of shills and idiots, etc. Includes anyone trying to make money offering legal remedies of any kind where none, in fact, exist. Okay, Peter Eugene of privatist.ripoffme. There you go. Thinking they exist is the illusion. There are many others to be exposed and eyes finally open, but I find the ones most dangerous, like the psyops or shills, given their popularity and money backing and profiteering from people's fears, that they love to ramp up to a delusional frenzy. They are the ones that only focus on circular, no-solution fear porn. And there are a few, like Mark Stevens, that are actually not offering legal nonsense and are more in the know of what's really going on. More to come. My challenge is simple. Disprove any and all of my work exposing this demonic nightmare. There are only a few that I see as being pure of heart, intent. People like Bill Donahue, Siobhan Bomer, Robert Otte, Matt Presti, Michael Tsarian, Tobias Lars, and a handful of others. And while I know Santo Bonacci is pure of heart, his not standing in truth, he knows, is exposing tens of thousands, if not more, to keep people still think there's legal remedy of any kind and will remain on the list until he shows otherwise. To be continued. Me. So there it is, boys and girls. That's just a short list. I wanted to spend a bit more time on it today, but I don't like wasting time on that kind of energy because we have talked about this, or I have talked. I'll take full responsibility for this. I will not let anyone speak for me, and I will not speak for anyone else. I'll take on each and every one of these individuals. No problem. Because I'll tell you this, it's a very simple question. Do you got a legal name? And if the answer is yes, which it inevitably will be, I'll say you're a slave You're working for the demon aspect. Can't talk to you until you figure out who you are. Now, I did receive an email. I'm going to talk to the individual before, from an individual regarding someone, and I want to talk to this individual beforehand. But very interesting email from the individual that they got it from, and the plot thickens and things get a whole lot more interesting. But for those that haven't noticed, there is a paradigm shift occurring right now, and I am done dealing with these idiots. And like Neil Anderson just pointed out here, there's no point playing the game that they created. They know it better than anyone. They designed it over many years. You will win. You will win playing by their rules that they can change when they want to suit them and work in their favor. Let me see. Kate, you were blunt and straight to the point with what but I personally think it's needed, just like Ninja, who I love to bits and always puts me in check when needed. There's no...
You're listening to Kate of Gaia on Critical Mass Radio. The game is up. Now, it's our turn.
Hey, good evening. Welcome Outside the Box. Yours truly, Kate of Gaia, coming at you live on criticalmassradio.co.uk once again. Seems like we do this every night, because we do, that's why. That's how important truth and children are. And, excuse me, the magic that is just pouring out of this reality right now from so many points of view, it's getting unmeasurable now. Where you would think in the past you get little sparks here and there, but I have to tell you, it is a veritable tsunami running across this planet and universe. The ripples aren't ripples anymore. They're getting into full-fledged tsunamis now. One of the joys of this as well, and again, it's got nothing to do with me, or really any of us individually per se, we do this collectively. The joy of a consciousness awakening, and you'll notice that the more you awaken within yourself, the fears and doubts and what have you all start melting away, where you're not fighting through the same usual and literal nonsense that you were, a month ago, 3, 6 months ago, a year ago. Because what happens with more and more knowledge of knowing things versus, well, I believe this or I believe that, I like to sum it up in, well, I don't believe that 1 + 1 = 2 in the literal sense. In the literal sense, I know it does. Okay? So you can have someone come up and argue with you all day long, and this is the one allegory that I like to use, where, here you are standing in truth, and you've seen it, you've witnessed it and felt it, getting shunned by friends, family, those closest to you, thinking you're the loony. Because you're daring to expose something that is 180 degrees to their completely sleepy reality. There is nothing that's going to shake me from 1 + 1 = 2. I don't care, and this is allegory, guys, not literal, and I don't care. I can't even describe how much I don't care. How many people are going to come to me and say, well, no, it actually equals 2 point something or 3 point. Listen, you can do that all day long until you're blue in the face. All I see in that position is a lunatic, an idiot, an intellectual idiot, or someone that is just hell-bent to make sure that the illusion stays afoot, which puts them in the demonic aspects or the dark principality, Solasheti entities that we find so prevalent within police forces, military, governments, churches, religions, oligarchies, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, the Mellons, the Bushes, the Kennedys, all of these corrupt family inbreeding bloodlines. Actually, I think there's a new sitcom that needs to come out, something from the 50s and 60s called Beverly Hillbillies. Well, let's just get it right and call it the Buckingham Palace Hillbillies, because that's exactly what all these wankers are, just a bunch of inbreeders. And it is a scientific fact that the more inbreeding that occurs within a bloodline, the more psychopathic the results become, because they're merging so close together all the time, and really, you cannot reason with a psychopath. You cannot rationalize with insanity. It would be the same as trying to talk to someone about something logical that is, blind with drunkenness, where they're falling over and what have you. You cannot rationalize or reason with that. You just simply put them to bed, or in the case of demonic entities, you just put one in its head and put it out of its misery. That is the only compassionate thing to do, because it's just a program anyway, a schizoid program that has no life, and the only life it does have is that which it can parasite and suck from another true soul-filled individual, a true aspect of consciousness, a true aspect of the unconditional love that this reality is. And it's quite simply summed up like this. If you knew that they travel freely because that's part of the design of letting them travel freely so that others may be harmed in that process. But anyway, let's get into this short little list here. It's not that short, but I'm calling everybody out. And there's a whole lot more I can add to this list. Right now, it's the challenge is out. The gauntlet is down. Any of you motherfuckers want to take me on, Kate of Gaia is sitting right here, right now. Bring it the fuck on, bitch. That's my gauntlet. You see, that's the difference between believing something and knowing something. It is my wish that every day that gets past, when I look back, I want to be wrong about everything the day before so that I've learned something new and expanded upon the truth that I already know. And I'm going to hand out a warning to all those, and I don't care if you're high profile in the, quote, free man, legal shite and all the rest of it. I don't care if you're just dabbling and maybe doing radio shows and sharing legal this and legal that and bills this and shite that and all the rest of it. You are harming humanity, and it is my wish that those harming humanity get harmed by their own choice. If it is your plan to harm humanity, ignorance is not a defense of the law. This is your warning. If you are going out of your way to harm humanity, especially those that know what's going on and still refuse to accept it, you are bringing that mirror upon yourself. I have to do nothing. I have to do absolutely nothing except let the golden rule take full force and effect, and it will. I spent today posting to hundreds of different pages the latest, thank you guys for putting together the Babylon Has Fallen essay, the one that I read out last night. It was done within probably minutes after the show was over, if not before it was over. So thank you for that. It went viral today, and talking with a few people, of course quite a few people, and they've been doing the same. So if you've been feeling a paradigm shift in the reality today, it's because there was one. So here we go. Known Shills and Cointelpro Disinfo fear porn agents. Okay. I see through these demons easily because those who won't talk to me, interview me, or block my writings on their sites, or defame me in any way, etc., are showing either their fear of truth or their unwillingness to accept the hard, cold facts of this reality we supposedly live in. I have a couple of categories for those that deliberately spread disinfo as their job to deceive humanity, which are shills, and those who I feel are too trapped in their intellectual left brain to see or accept truth. I call them idiots, where I call the entire group of shills and idiots, shidiots. Anyone who is still claiming to have a legal remedy are harming humanity in their idiocy, and those selling this lie of legal remedy illusion are the same as lawyers, cops, and judges, preying on others for money. It's simple. You sell legal, you're the same breed of parasite, and this includes self-professed gurus and the free man, sovereign, patriot movements, etc. There's a third category of those simply in fear of standing on what they know to be truth, but are included in all aspects of selling legal remedy if they are promoting that in any way due to their own fear or non-acceptance of standing in truths known. Let's begin with pure shills and Cointelpro agents. They're the ones making large amounts of money, are not being taken out by system goonies, and can travel freely to spread their shit. They only talk in the same continuous loop of literal fear porn, never adjusting from their platforms. The list of major Cointelpro types are as follows, and this is a short list. There's many more to be added to this, but these are the ones just off the top of my head today. Alex Jones, you were called out as a Zionist shill. Interview me, faggot. David Icke, still selling the reptoid nonsense, are you? How many millions are you making per year, my friend? I'm calling you out. I know of one individual in particular that was posting Babylon Has Fallen on the Dave Icke forums today, and every time it got posted, it was removed, and this individual who has been on the Dave Icke forums for a long time has just been blocked. No fear there, right, Mr. Lizard Boy? David Icke, you were called out as a fucking shill. Cointelpro agent. Here I am. Interview me, if you dare. Sasha Stone. There's someone selling the free energy concept, the physical, try to keep you in the illusion. What the hell does a god need with free energy when that's all we do is create it? Kind of stupid. Here's a battery for you. No thanks, I am one. Sasha Stone, you're nothing but a piece of shill. No interest in talking to you because, sorry, you're way too in love with yourself like Russell Brand, and he's on this list as well. Andrew Bartzis, in cohorts in conjunction with the likes of Sasha Stone and other things, selling all manner of nonsense. And again, Andrew, we've talked on occasion, and you are officially called out as a fucking Cointelpro shill. Prove otherwise. Let's chat, shall we? Challenge is on. The table's open 7 nights a week. You're all welcome. Let's carry on here. Kevin Annett, well, he's a Jesuit operative who I've known for years, got up close and personal, and I got to tell you, I've never felt a filthier aura. And I've also looked in his eyes, and I've seen the fear. I am also the only one on this planet that has come out against him that he didn't try to defame. That's his standard modus operandi, his standard way of doing things. Someone comes out and calls him out, and I know of many people, Malvé and a handful of others, that have actually been at this table that did call him out, and he went on a hate porn fest and calling out these people and saying things actually in one conversation with Malvé in Holland. As a matter of fact, he even suggested to Malvé and her husband on a couple of occasions that if they needed anyone, quote, taken out, to let him know. That's the nature. And I got to tell you, someone like Kevin Annett using the likes of the genocide of Canada. This, by the way, Alfred Lambermont Weaver, to answer your question as to why someone like Kevin Annett is so dangerous when apparently he's doing so much good. Right now, Kevin Annett is looking for blood sign contracts for common law peace officers. Guys, this went around a while back as part of the World Freeman Society, Robert Menard. As a matter of fact, when Rob came out with the idea at the time, this is going back to 3+ years ago, at the time I thought it was a great idea to level the playing field with these supposed policy enforcement goons, werewolves that go around looking for the name contract. But I assure you, common law peace officer Kevin Annett is just another way to get you onto a piece of paper, giving you a false sense of security and power. And by the way, treason boy, with all the shit you've done, why haven't they taken you out? Why? Because you're working for them. And that's what Jesuit operatives do. I'm going to include the likes of Pope Francis in that list too, which I have as well. I've also already mentioned Russell Brand, and of course Dave Icke and Russell Brand. They were trying to bring them together, and that got a little bit messed up. Keep your distance. Can't get the shield too close together. And again, I am praying to be wrong in every one of these, but I know I'm not. And that's okay. If these people want to challenge me, you know where the table is. The gauntlet's down. Bring it the fuck on, bitch. Real simple. Pope Francis, of course, Mr. Look how wonderful I am with children, and a known operative in Argentina during the Falklands War as a weapons dealer and many other things. But then that's what the Jesuits do. They like to infiltrate every level of military and government and sell their particular brand of evil in the guise of doing something good. Let me see, where we go. Anyway, here, there are others to be called out as they're shown by and of their actions. There are many more in this category, but I thought I'd call out some of the more popular ones based on the amounts of money that that they bring in, and that includes Kevin Annett, because I've never seen anyone that is just simply accepting donations that can jet set around the planet as much as that fucking shill can. So there you go. So Kevin Annett, go ahead, try to defame me. Many have tried. Here's the good news. Go ahead, bitch about me. All they got to do is go to kateofgaia.wordpress.com, read for themselves, and you'll decide for yourself what's real and what isn't. And if you're intelligent in any way whatsoever and actually have a soul, it'll hit you pretty quick. That was my intention in writing the things anyway, because these were moments of experience, not theories. I'll leave the conspiracy theorists to the theories. I simply like to walk the minefield first, maybe step on a mine here and there, which I've done many times, in order to find the way through so that others can walk through safely. The intellectual idiots, ones who are smart enough to get it, but refuse to stand in truth due to fear, vengeance, greed, or sheer ignorance, etc. The list of this group, they do have some